I'm assuming, the mock-ups are for assessing munitions requirements. Thank you for that very, very astute point there, man. I'm not, vouching for the veracity of the statement, but I think it makes a lot of sense. I just find it to be a little bit scary, for lack of a better term, man. It's not something that, I want to see come to fruition. Put it that way, right? Yeah. I think it's going to get real ugly. These are two monsters. And I think, if we, it makes it a confrontation a little bit less likely if we can reshore the chip production and, be less reliant on the chips coming from Taiwan. It makes a standoff a little bit more less
I think that would be ignorant of the United States to not acknowledge that. Maybe it's somewhere in the back of Donald Trump's mind of why TSM's investing so much money in some of the southern states, Arizona fabs and everything along those lines. What he's got going on with Intel and all the onshoring. So just to reduce your global
exposure. He's been doing that.
Yeah.
Been doing that.
Oh, so I just want to end my point like this, Shreve. I don't know, how, and it's kind of not really what we're talking about, we talk about it every day. We were having the conversation just before, obviously, in regards to trips. I'll tell you why I'm forever a bull in technology. Will there be periods?
Forever what?
A bull in technology, period. Forever.
You and I both.
It would say like we're at the most advanced part of human civilization. I would have to disagree. I think it's going to continue to advance way past our lifetime, and I don't think there's going to ever be a halt to it. So
you want to show them the chart?
Well, we can show them the chart. We can show them the chart, but you could also just go back and look in history to the point of the first vehicle ever made and everything along those lines. That's why I'll remain forever bullish. There will be probably some blackout periods where the advancement is drastically slowed down. But in the long term, I think that's what we're here for, is just to continuously technologically advance.
Technologia. All right, guys, this is a chart of the triple Qs. Anybody who is nervous about throwing their hat into the equity ring in terms of long-term investment, I just want to bring to your attention that this is from 2007 onwards, and there's many years that are not included in this. This is a chart of the triple Qs.
What were you doing in 2007?
I was in Leicester.
You're in university there. Right on. I think I was just entering high school. I was like a year in high school.
You have family there, Neil, right?
Tiffany was 3, Sia was 3, so I mean, like, what were you guys weren't buying like Bitcoin or stocks or anything at that time? Unfortunately,
she was punching in when she was 3, bro.
Right away, man.
She was going in heavy.
That's what I'm going to be doing.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's what the Trump accounts are for, are they not?
Am I just get immediate exposure, which I think is jail. Well, I mean, is it that way? Or is it straight to the financial freedom jail?
Whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever.
All I know is that we got 3 in the bag.
All right.
Let's send it over to the big kahunas, Neil and Sean. They're going to take you into the afternoon hour, guys. Same bat time, same bat channel. Joey and I will be back tomorrow. Take care.
Later.
Yes, sir. University of Leicester.
What's up? Shout out to university and to getting edumacated up.
You got to get your education.
Yeah, you got to get some education and SMRT.
It's important.
I don't know. We're SPCX right now. I'm short SpaceX right into 123. I mean, waiting to see if that breaks. We've hit it there. Didn't take it out there. We should have taken it out a little. Well, whatever. I was waiting for a little lower than that, like this 122.20 area. We just missed that by 10 cents. Now we're short again into SpaceX. So decent position sizing here ahead of VWAP, and I'm trying to actually bid some at 50s. Just takes quickly 20 cents because, again, the break of 123 is a little bit of a warning shot there. So we'll see if SpaceX wants to come back in. It would help us out if the market fell back down again one more time. But welcome everybody back to lovely Toronto, where the temperature right now is 24 degrees. So not bad.
Not too hot.
Not too hot. Beautiful day outside there as my kids are away at sleepaway camp. So that's nice. We've already booked a date for tonight, man. We're going to go see Obsession at the VIP, so we're going to do that. Give some more money to the industry, you know what I mean? I need to buy, should have just bought some AMC shares, I guess, on Friday.
Or
have a completely free ride.
What about IMAX shares?
Or IMAX shares, yeah.
Why not? Because apparently the Odyssey and IMAX is the way to go. The other thing that we got going on, everybody, are some updates out of Origenics. Believe it or not, ticker OGEN on the NYSE American has activated its Phase 2A clinical trial in Australia. with its first site fully operational and patient dosing expected next. They're developing ONP-002, an intranasal treatment targeting concussion and mild traumatic brain injury. That's an area where there are currently no FDA-approved therapies. Alongside that, Oragenics has spent the last year strengthening its balance sheet, raising capital, and resolving liabilities. They're also restoring exchange compliance. The focus is shifting to execution, with clinical progress underway and additional CNS assets under evaluation. Want to shout out and thank Oragenics for sponsoring this next hour of the show. OGEN. You can find them on, like I said, the NYSE market. A couple of things I'm looking at. One, Lucid's breaking out.
Again? What the hell?
Oh, well, breaking out above VWAP.
Okay.
So before I tell you that it's making some fresh highs, because I will short this one a few times underneath the volume weighted average price, it just busted VWAP. So I'm not reloading this next time. I'm actually going to look to reverse this one into the long if we can bounce and hold off of VWAP. Robinhood, we'll look to buy the dip. Guess where? I mean, if I say VWAP again, it's like, what the heck? But yeah, pretty much that. So this pulls back into the 100.5 again. I want to look for a reload on that bad boy. And remember this morning, we were talking about all the big names that we're going to report this week and needed to show something, show signs of life, show whatever it might be. One of those caught a bid. IBM caught a little bit of a bid. That's the good news. The bad news is, well, it's still in the bottom end of the range. But don't look now, but that's looking more and more. Here, I'll go to the 15 minutes. Looking more and more like IBM has held the low. 2 days in a row, it's now held 210 after that little liquidity grab. 220 breakout, I think, going to be in play for international business machines, which not a lot of people actually call them international business machines. Ooh, Lucid's starting to accelerate. All right, maybe it doesn't pull into VWAP. Maybe we grab some 40s on the way. But above VWAP, this is now turning into a bit of a breakaway squeeze trade because I can't think of any other reason Lucid is going up other than shorts getting squoze.
Yeah, no, same way. I was trying to see what was Obi trading today. Oh, he's with you, Warner Brothers, some Amazon, some Microsoft. Yeah, I haven't traded many symbols today, man. I've only traded 4. We're still in IBIT, though. So this one, we absolutely, I don't know, sometimes we're just lucky, well, not lucky, but lucky to get filled, I guess. We wrote down 36.25 down here on IBIT. That's where we're long. That's on our sticky note, and that just goes up there, up into 37 and change, and taking some out as we drip below, not even VWAP there, the 50 period and the 25 period. Then we just had a nice little move higher there in IBIT, so you can see we're long IBIT and short SpaceX. SpaceX, I don't know, man. I just took some more out at 50. This may not, right there it's 42s. I'm actually bidding 30s, so if we can come into 30, get into this level, we'll get a little bit more out there, but we're going to try a little bit of SpaceX now and $1 in there on IBIT, and we'll just wait, man. We wrote down on SpaceX that we actually wanted, earlier we wanted 123 long. So now we're short 123, so little up and down. Oh, earlier, so SpaceX was good, and then it wasn't. So, it broke through the 200 period moving average there. We got stopped out. And of course, as soon as we did that, it crashed right back in again. So that's 123.50 out, goes all the way back down $1 to right where we were in, and then takes off of VWAP. So that's what I'm trying to do right now, is trying to watch out, because we didn't basically get VWAP until the very open. And that's when, we crashed in, and then right into there, it seemed to be pretty key as we break it, bounced back off of it again, and we started to hold. So that move higher. And then I was just sort of thinking now that we're underneath it again, it doesn't hold there and kept on holding. So that was a good take for sure. And then we just kind of reloaded the position. So we could still get busted out on this one, but giving it, VWAP is right here at 80s. I don't want to stop out there. So we're going to wait to 123 and a little bit higher than that, to get stopped out of SpaceX. It was, Neil and I, of course, had salmon today, and it was tilapia. There. Yo, what's up, Lele?
Adam for getting us pizza. We had no idea.
No,
I came back from my walk.
Pizzas over there.
And we got sent pizza because it was tilapia day.
Yeah.
I've already had lunch. I'm kind of full. Might have a slice in the afternoon, for sure. I want to address a question because I'm having the same question, Grunfeld, about ZYBT, and Shreve is already gone. It's halted again. This is up 388%. It's a small capper. It's now halting. It seems like it opens up and then halts rather quickly. The only thing I can surmise about the halt bands here, now clearly, one of these halts, it moved from $3.20 to $3.05. That's 5%. My guess is what's happening is the bands are broken because it was a penny stock before, and there's just something amiss. It shouldn't really be halting for those types of small moves. Regularly, a $3 stock would have to move more than that, but you got to observe what's happening here. Every 20 or so cents, the stock is halting. So you have to, you just got to recognize that's the truth and trade it as such. So, I would say that makes it incredibly weird to trade, because even a small and reasonable, like, you can't put a regular stop order that would make sense because you're going to be inside of the halt. You're going to be outside of the halt bands the way they are priced. So yeah, I'd be very, very careful trading this stock if I were you. It doesn't really make any sense at all. Another name I'm going to be on watch here is SMCI is trying to break out. Look at how clean this was off VWAP. I shorted a trend break and stopped out at the prior bar as usual as it bounced off the volume weighted average price. Now this looks like it's going to try to make a bit of a jaunt. If it turns here, I'd probably just short it to the high. But if it breaks 50, that is worth a shot for a bit of a look as well. So let us know what you guys are watching. I see Klarna, NVIDIA as well are going to be in there. Yeah. Let us know what symbols are interesting.
Trying to find something that's trying to
for you guys. And I think the market overall is not
already
really.
Got bid on.
It's not flying too much. Like, we're at VWAP on the Qs.
Yeah.
And nothing really standing out. Oh, wait a minute. No. Never mind. My charts, I'm looking at my NQ chart. I'm like, yeah, we're at VWAP on the NQ. Just a bit
below VWAP.
But we're just a bit below it on the triple Qs. Not much.
All right. What's up, Bovin and everybody else out there? Oh, yeah, GMM is trying to go now. Good call out right there. Bovin there, one of Shree's best friends. GMM, 67% to the upside and breaking right now. Yeah, look, I mean, this is great. Like, build up, make a move down. Build up, make a move down, build up, make a move down, and all just to get more energy to get back to the upside. So there's the build up back into the 50 period, holding VWAP right there. So yeah, GMM, again, another one of these like perennial, I guess, or perennial, I guess it means kind of yearly, but looks like it's daily mover. So right into there, breaking through $4, gives it that juice to go today is GMM. So yeah, good call out there. And we'll wait to see if it has enough firepower to break through some of these levels. It's already done it, actually, $4 right there. So yeah, good level. We'll see what happens with GMM here today, getting upside. We can have a quick look on, we just got back to flat on SpaceX, actually. Went against us there. Now it's trying to, SpaceX may break higher. I don't know. We're just looking for something to do. Oh, there it is. SpaceX just went higher. So there it goes. We just got out of it, breaking through 123. Just quickly here, GMM, percent shortfall 3%, float of 1.8 million shares. Probably done much more than that today. Yeah, 170 million shares there on the day. Yeah, there it goes, right through 123. So, okay, well, we gave it a shot there at the end of it all, and this does not work out right there through the 200 period moving average now of SpaceX as the futures are trying to get through VWAP. I don't know if there's just enough going on here to go long in it. It's pretty back and forth. I feel like we might just want to leave SpaceX alone and go back over to SK Hynix, where again, we wrote down 154 today as the potential low of the day on this sticky note. That hits perfectly at 11 o'clock and then rips $3. And that doesn't look like it really wants to do a whole bunch of anything right now. Maybe we go short on SK Hynix at some point there. And then the one that I took earlier was SkyQ, and that was good for a little bit until it wasn't, and then it ripped back up, and then it made another move down, and so right now SkyQ holding $4 and trying to do something there. So yeah, man, just SpaceX, just got stopped out of that one, looking for some more trades to happen. TQQ's also, we were running it early on the short until it wasn't. I think we already showed this one. But right now, trying to think about what it wants to do as well, back to the upside. I still think about being bearish, but maybe it's a bullish kind of day ahead of Intel and Google and all that coming on Wednesday. So a couple of days until we get some big reports coming through. But yeah, like we already said, man, maybe we can put up the visualizer just to see what the top sort of stocks are today. We do know that
we should reset.
Intel's been going on. All right, AMC. We haven't really looked at AMC yet.
That's at ZYBT. Yes. Halting every 2 seconds.
SpaceX going higher.
IRAN 21%.
I just say IRIS.
What?
Okay, IRIS.
Yeah, 21%.
Wow. Okay.
I want to say booyah for this stock, booyah, whatever. But 21% in the other direction. The SPY in there, Microsoft, Apple, NVIDIA, Tesla down 2 points.
Wow, that
today.
Apple short. Geez.
Yuck. Intel up 4 points, Alphabet's up 1.7, and then ADVB, that's that small capper, for 43% up. I guess IRAN, that really stands out. Great day for IRAN. that you would have found them on the watch list this morning. So shout out to, actually no one picked them this time. That was a pick last.
That was one of Brendan's picks a long time ago.
Correct. It was Brendan's last year, but I was gonna say shout out for the pick on Iron, but that was last year one of Brendan's pick. I don't think anyone would have had.
He picked in December. It's down 75%.
Did he pick it again?
No, he picked it. I picked it in January. Like he picked it when you picked. Okay. Like we picked we picked Lily and all those stuff.
$41 here for Iron. That's a trend break. Look at that bottoming tail. Boom. Almost like a clean breakout through here at $38. Clean break, support at 38. If you slap the old, even if it were to dip tomorrow, that could hold $38 and be absolutely fantastic. I really like G Vernova. I want to see what that's doing here today. Gimme. Ooh, that's not what I wanted to see. I wanted to see over 11 hundo. There's the 50 period, like the stock holding the 50. Now you just got to get back to the highs. They got a report this week, though, on G Vernova. Wednesday's a big day, but G Vernova you actually get in the pre-market to sort of set up everything that's happening on Wednesday. Just quickly before we get to that headline, giving this one about 10 pennies. We got out. We want to jump back in under VWAP. 728 to stop on Lucid. What's the story here? Power station in Bahrain has been attacked. Mm-hmm. Iran claims that they're, I mean, unless you go over, like we always talk about, unless you see like a wild spike happening here in USO, you know that a lot of these headlines, they can happen, but they're not really doing much of anything. And USO didn't even do much with that 125 break. So took out Friday's high multiple times on volume and has done absolutely nothing with it. So a lot of sideways action here for oil futures. It's not a bad thing. I mean, not breaking out higher, I suppose, would be a good thing.
I'm going to go, if I can clear my throat, I'm going to try to go short AMC. I mean, honestly, I'm going to see if we can pay for some popcorn tonight. Like, I'm just going to see if we can get some shares. It looks like it may have topped out right here. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be hard to maybe get some shares because of just the way this is actually trading. And if I punch maybe the short, you can, well, can you? Oh, yeah, you can. Of course, you can punch a short. Trying to get filled over here instead of over here. So we'll have to wait at 40. I mean, the problem is I saw this trade up here at like 43, and I've just been sort of chasing it this whole way down. So damn it, a little miss there on AMC. Maybe okay, there it goes. We get some 40s there now. So we'll wait for some 41s, get an average position here, give it to 44, 45, see if we want to break the day's high. Put our stop in right now at $2 and let's go like 47 just for now, and then we'll have to have a look. I mean, I don't really want it if it rips back above this price, but I am thinking that maybe psychological level or so of 247. That's what I put in, but maybe 250 like a key price. We can have a look there, hearing that Meta just signed a deal or something with another data center, but that doesn't look like it's doing much right into here for Meta. So yeah, so far so good here today as we just kind of chill out into the afternoon and got stopped out at SpaceX, but here we are, man. We're into AMC. All right, she was at the desk. Now she's at the window and the wall. It's Adara.
Hello, guys. I'll take a look at Meta for you guys in a second, but let's really quickly get into today's session here, or episode or installment of To the Window, To the Wall, where I pull up a chart infographic window here and we look at it on this wall. Now, I had a couple options I was going to look at today. I was going to look at Domino's in the first half of 2026. I was going to look at AMC. Then I was like, which name are you guys looking at today? And which do I think is the most interesting from a data perspective? That is this Iron visual. Now, I know today's story with Iron only was tangentially related to earnings. They didn't report, and all they really did was kind of expand their ARR guidance for AI cloud. So they basically raised that guidance for fiscal 26. So with that in mind, I wanted to look at how is IRAN performing so far this year and a couple key metrics in fiscal 2026. They only have one quarter left to go. They've already reported Q1 through Q3 of 2026. Now, what I noticed, which is really interesting, that I think is very evident here, if you look at it, is they've actually had sequential declines in both revenue and adjusted EBITDA every quarter so far this year. So you start here in Q1 of 2026 with $240 million in revenue. Then you get to $145 million in revenue, quite a substantial decline here by Q3 26. Same for adjusted EBITDA, $92 million here in Q1, all the way down to $59.5 million in Q3. Now, Adara, you may say, sequential declines or moves don't really matter that much. they do matter when that's how you report it. And IRN actually has in their earnings reports the sequential changes, which is why I think this is significant. We'll have to see if Q4 sees some kind of uptick here, if we get some kind of, sequential improvement here on Q4 for both EBITDA or adjusted EBITDA and revenue. We'll have to wait and find out. But either way, I thought this was interesting. Sure, they can raise this fiscal 2026 ARR and, have more contracts, but it's not quite showing up in their actual reported numbers as of yet. Back to you.
Okay, there you go.
Well, you understand a little bit more about IRED and that huge day that they're having.
Mount Monster Day.
IREN.
There wasn't that much movement in Meta, obviously, on that. Yeah, so just letting Darren know that Meta wasn't really doing much of anything on that story. I tried to get rid of that wick and it's still there. We'll zoom in so you can see a bit better. Meta, very, very quiet. Stronger than the overall market, but not a heck of a lot more than that. Just saw Netflix is looking pretty weak. So I want to jump into this. This has been holding trend all the way, holding trend from the open. So I'm going to short this one to VWAP, which is also the trend line. We're going right back to Adara at the desk.
So this Meta story did move a name, but it wasn't Meta. Story here, Wall Street Journal reporting that BlackRock is leading this $12 billion financing for new Meta data centers in Texas. Again, Wall Street Journal reporting this. I want to mention here, BlackRock is not a name that I've ever seen anyone but myself day trade. There's not a lot of volume on this, so be very careful. This thing is very, very spready and over $1,000, but we did get a little bit of an uptick here in BlackRock, again, in this Wall Street Journal report, suggesting that BlackRock will be leading a $12 billion financing round for new Meta data centers in the state of Texas.
Texas.
I mean,
shocking.
I was going to say, BlackRock also not really doing anything. I mean, that's a good look on that move. It bumps higher, but it bumped $3 on a $1,000 stock. So I say let's just wait to see if there is any news there as we talk more about some data centers. All right, I did re-engage again with SpaceX. We just went short roughly you can see 123 flats there. We've been sitting here and seen SpaceX, make moves. I mean, even on Friday, this move was false. That was the story of, them selling some compute to the Pentagon. And then, I don't know, for some reason, it just came right back in. I thought that was a good story there. We lost our way on trying to go long there. But it was going to the downside, before all of that. It did try to tick a bit higher. Someone knew about it, boom. And they whacked it into the close there for SpaceX. And, even the day before, that's the same day, this was it bleeding into the close again. So let's just wait to see if SpaceX wants to do that. And we'll take a couple more profit points right now. We just went short again right there on that break back below the 200 period moving average. Our first out is 90s, and then our second out there is 70s. So 71s and 90s right there. We'll see if SpaceX does make a move lower. I don't know if it's going to absolutely collapse, but why not? Why can't we get this into 123 quarters, something like that? I'm going to put a bid at 122 quarters. I'll put a bid here at 60 just because, and then we'll put a bid a little lower down there at 122. 35, something like that. We'll try to take 10% out on the way down on that one. We did take another advantage of that IBIT trade. We're going to get out if it breaks through 37 on the downside of that, and that's, again, sticky no play. So, pretty happy with the way that one is. Just wish we always would have put on more shares whenever they work out, of course. So 30C, I don't want to put 37.98 because, we'll get triggered. 36 right here, 36.94, okay? A break back down below the 200 period and this level. We'll see if it breaks lower than that right now. I was going to say, did Shreve clean up his dirty dishes? Yes, he did.
Dirty dishes?
He left a couple there, and I just was noticing. I was going to remove it, but I see that he did. So that's a good one. All right, here we go, man. While we had this short, the lowest we got, we're gonna mess around with AMC. I did have to pay for shorts. A couple thousand shares. It was 50 cents. So it's nothing. We'll wait there for 244. See if we get one more fill up into that spot. We have many, many units on this. I'm trading this with thousands of shares, not the same way that I would trade SpaceX or anything. But although I wish I had a couple thousand shares on this SpaceX move, because here it goes right now. We did get stopped out of a bigger position, but we're back in right now on SPCX and see if it can make a move just a little bit lower. I'm actually going to take advantage of this and take another 50 there. So we punched out twice right here at that level. Once it ran over us right there at 60s, and I just punched a 50 right there as well. So, all right, we'll see if we can come back in, man. My bid on SpaceX is 122.30s. Hopefully that'll fill, and then we'll go from there, right? And hopefully we can break that 122 flat. We'll put another bid there and see how that's going. But, most of my concern would be on something like an AMC right now to hopefully it can come back in. What are we short here? We're short 42s, okay? So even if we could take a 38 now, I don't think that's the end of the world. So we'll see what happens with AMC here into the close.
Yeah, the market is starting to come right back into the downside. So it did lose VWAP. Well, okay, never mind. It was underneath VWAP to begin with. Correction, because I know I pulled this one up last time, but we are starting to lose a little bit. We just got into that Netflix, which looks weak to me. Remember, these guys, they didn't have the best reaction to earnings on Netflix, and still it bounced on Friday, but then, couldn't really get to $70, held 69.5, and has been trending down. So I think the post-earnings move is still looking more or less on the weak side. Oh, I guess it's halted again. For those that I just saw in the chat.
ZYBT?
Yeah, I'm not pronouncing
it's only opened and halted every time.
This stock, I don't know what's going on with the halt bands, but suffice to say they are just a little bit weird. So it's halting with moves that are actually tiny. It looks like I'm going to guess about 5%. So it's moving 5%, then it's halting. The actual real one is that BIYA, B-I-Y-A, is this one is actually trading, halted down, and then reopened at the lows. This might be one of those capitulation bottoms. Like, see that, the halt down, the hold of the low, this gave it all up. This was almost at $10 this morning. That was up 200 and something percent. I think it was like almost 250%, and now into the red. This could be an interesting dead cat bounce. A couple of greens after a down halt. Just want to see where this got to. Okay, let's go. Yeah, wow. Underneath Friday's low at $3. Okay, this gets a little bit spicy. Oh, I know what's going on. Sorry. Don't want that on every single page. Did that because my chart had crashed. But yeah, BIYA, this one looks a little bit spicy. If it can hold this 3/4 level, much more interesting if it's not going to halt every 2 seconds. Try to get it in and give it to the prior bar, like 3. You give it to the low, that's about 295. That's not too bad either for BIYA. Just want to double check what the short float is on this thing.
BIYA, oh, who knows? Probably not very much float.
I think it's the float more than the short
float.
Float.
Or not.
Only 2.7.
People talking about that.
Only 2.7.
Cub? No, that didn't do much. I mean, this was a halt. Again, we have this halt scanner. We've sort of showed it a couple times here on the show. ACHR. No, not much going on there. Yeah, see all these ZYBTs. ACHX? No. That's not one that's going anywhere there. And that's about it, right? I mean, since it's the afternoon. Yeah, just these two going back and forth right now. ZYBT. Halted with current tap at 3.25. So it looks like it'll go down at 330. I know Neil's just doing this, but I'm just trying to show you guys. 336 was the close. It looks like right now you're tapping 3.25. So for anybody interested in some of those trades, there it is. Opens back up. There it is. So I'm not even sure where. I mean, does it show the last open? No. Maybe it did open at 3.25 there. I'm not sure. But there it is. So tap now 3.25. Opened and trying to go back to the upside right now. ZY good. Oh, it's going to halt again. You see, this is the problem. Like, it's such a small, and that's the halt bands that it looks like that. Now there has 10 seconds to take that level out, or if it can't, then it will halt again. So it looks like it's going to halt right now. Oh, wow. That worked. So yeah, halted now there on ZYBT, and it's just, this is not tradable unless you are, almost like a maniac, I would say, and pardon all the maniacs out there, but you got to be careful with the amount of shares that you're using. Like, this name just opened up and it just kind of just floated around in the mid-20s, then it ripped into the mid-30s. Now it's going to halt again at 40. And the reason why I say you got to be careful, it's like now it's at 50. It's like if you just took a short, like I don't know how many shares you're trading with it, but you got to watch out for this to blow it off to the upside. So it's like boom, right there, taking out these highs, always something to watch out for. And I just worry that like you put your stop in, you get stopped out, and then it kind of flushes on you. So those of you that have a little more experience trading in the halt games would know all about ZYBT. So you got to be a little careful with that. Oh, I'm finally seeing something. is maybe Robinhood. No, see 101. Okay, was hoping that would have been. It's just getting a note that we're sort of approaching VWAP right there for Robinhood. Robinhood in the SPY, Affirm. Just saw back-to-back Robinhoods there. So waiting to see what that winds up doing here. Trying to fall back in. Not really much. 101.50, good high there. If that comes back in for Robinhood, interesting levels there. We talked about taking crypto long, which we did, and that's going to be my biggest trade of the day. But it's nice to see Bitcoin holding fort at 65 in change. Thank you, Mr. P. the Rider, because that is a fact, Jack.
So I missed this. I gotta get to. We actually got sent this from one of our viewers here. It's Daniel Westermeyer, longtime viewer of the show, was on a family trip to Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay.
So that is the Oracle of Omaha's place. Obviously, that's Warren Buffett's. I mean, he's telling me that. I mean, I don't
believe it. Why not?
I believe you. And then he's watching. I'm gonna zoom in and say that was us. Straight TV Live. I didn't know if it was us or it was Street.
Okay.
It might have been the midday show, but shout out to you, Daniel. Hey, enjoy. I've never been out there, and I wonder if a lot of people visit Dude's house, because one of the stories for Warren Buffett is that he just lived in that same home, didn't have some ridiculous mansion, I believe is the idea with Mr. Buffett. But yeah, thank you. Whether or not that's a cottage, someone just said his little cottage. I'm sure he's got something nicer somewhere. You know what I'm saying? He's a little too rich not to have a little something.
I agree with that.
He probably has that house, but the mansion somewhere.
That's a mansion. That was a mansion.
Well,
trust me.
Compared to what Zuck or Bezos,
I don't know what Zuckerberg has.
He's not living like those guys. I don't think.
Who knows, man? These secret guys, man. You never know.
The story behind him is that
he probably
people
has
have
multiple spots.
That he's pretty frugal, right? I believe that's the reputation.
Okay.
But let's be real.
Thing about buying a big house is it's actually a great investment.
Oh, it's not
all these people that win these lotteries, I think part of the best thing they could do is actually buy a house. Housing prices. I mean, we're lucky around here. Our housing prices, mine. I mean, I bought mine.
It depends on how much you win in the lottery.
No. But I'm saying any investment into a house. Well, you get to live there, right? So that's the first thing. You're not paying rent. You're not doing anything like that. I mean, yeah, I'm talking about a lottery.
You got to be able to get because you got to be able to
$1
carry it in maintenance and in property. If you.
I'm not talking about buying a mansion.
If somebody that has basically no income and wins $1 million and puts it all into a house.
Then you're house poor. I mean,
then you become house poor. But I don't know exactly. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Well, it's just if you had won, if I'd won a lottery, when I bought my house, let's just say I paid under $500,000 for it. Let's just say now it's worth over $1 million. Let's just give that as an example. If I had more money back then and I would have bought a $5 million house, it probably would be worth $10 million right now. And that's just a nice appreciation. But property taxes, there's lots of different things. But, I don't know. My largest, and I actually wanted to do this, I think once we get a little more viewers, I'm going to put up a poll. And I'm going to ask how much money everybody's managing in their trading accounts. You don't have to, it's going to be a rough estimate. Are the portfolios that you're looking at for your Roth or your IRA, or I think just total investment money, how much money do you actually have actively working in the market? Is it greater than, I think $1 million, we could go $1 million, and then maybe greater than 2 million, underneath, $500,000, something like that, because I think a lot of people's biggest holdings is probably their house. I mean, I love people, at least around, I mean, I would say probably 90% or so of anyone that owns a house is probably most of their equity is in the house.
I would be willing to, in Canada, I'm almost certain that's probably true. You could look that, maybe.
I mean, I think the average RRSP in Canada is probably under a couple $100,000. Meanwhile, the average housing price in Canada is probably, I don't know, 300,000 or 400,000. I mean, I don't know. I know there's all different spots, so I don't know what things are like up north or whatever like that. I mean, I was just up in North Bay. There's it's population of 50 or 60,000 people. It's very indigenous and so on and so forth. And even houses up there are $500,000-$600,000. So I don't know, man. We're a little bit different maybe here in the GTA and in Southern Ontario. Yeah. Very, very expensive there. So.
What's Jay Linus? Thank you for the super chat, Jay. I just passed in Connecticut a Berkshire real estate sign on a bunch of empty property. Don't worry, he's dipping his toes in the desert sink.
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing.
That's tough. There's a lot of properties probably that are a little underwater right now. But I think you got to take advantage of those. And
it's different in the States than here because you guys have like you keep these really low rates.
We can write off
with like
mortgage,
the house. You can write off your mortgage. Here resets basically every 3 years, and so everyone has constant adjusting rates. And I think it's just a bit of a different ball game. Like the ability for people to just sit on these great, fantastic mortgages and write off interest is huge advantage in the U.S. We're gonna go to Sia. It is time for Happening Now.
Ooh.
Indeed, it is time for Happening Now. Good afternoon. The SPY currently trading flat but tilting towards the green at the moment. The triple Qs are up a little shy of 8%. We have the Dow currently down 0.44% and the IWM down 0.21%. Now, let's just talk about this one ticker here and send it right off to the guys. ACHR Aviation shares soaring currently above 20% mark, ACHR. So it is said that it's planning to have air taxis certified and flying in time for the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. So now, the company CEO Adam Goldstein has shared the news as of today. He's saying that it's an quote unquote, it's still an ambitious goal, but we're certainly going to try our hardest to get there. The company has also released its series hybrid electric VTOL, VTOL platform as of today with the military technology company Anduril, and the platform would both quote unquote serve both defense and commercial applications. This is coming according to the press release. You have ACHR up 20.27% on the day.
Okay, sounds good.
It is a nice one, ACHR.
Thank you, David, over here, and I just commented to you here. Thank you so much for that, the $10 there on the locate fee, and I just actually put in here. Yeah, I appreciate that, but if AMC breaks through this high, I'm losing way more than this $10. But here we go, man. 6% fee, management fee there. We're going to try to figure out what winds up happening there. 1.25 billion. This is going to be hard to squeeze anywhere, but I feel like AMC probably is squeezing a little bit today. I'm just taking the trade just so everybody knows, and thank you, David, for that, for the $10 there. All the money that gets donated just kind of goes into a pool here. So, but we'll wait, and then, pays for Fabian's ladder that he keeps climbing up and down all the time. It's not bouncing at all right now. It's kind of doing nothing. So we're going to have to wait for this. We were waiting at 44. The best we got to was 43 by 44. That never spiked us into a short there more. We're trying to average it in. Hopefully we can spike down. I did now put a bid because we've made a little bit of money now on this SpaceX trade. I don't really want to give too much back here with AMC, but, still trying to catch a bid. And if we can get something down here at 39, 38, we'll, see, it just tried to go again, and someone bought that thing back up, 154 million shares. Who's buying this thing right now? So I'm hoping that we can get a downside push here for AMC. Definitely when you're looking at the size of this, which doesn't matter, right? That's what she said. You have 42 here and 43. It's just a matter of trying to get out of the way here. That's not big enough. There's nothing here that's going to prevent this stock from going up. Algos will wipe this out. They'll cancel their offer. Whoever's sitting here with 50,000 shares, the minute they get filled for 10,000, they'll just put an auto cancel and get rid of it, the rest of it. They're not going to sit there and take all those most likely. So don't be influenced by the size there. It should dissipate. If it wants to go higher, there'll be nothing stopping it. So just watching out for that trade to come in again. Still long on IBIT. We started to clear out a lot of this. Remember where our stop is, breaking through 37.90 or so. So if that happens on this little dip down, and again, something that we wrote down on our sticky note earlier was 36.25. So that was a boom shakalaka trade as that goes a little bit higher there. Just waiting for SpaceX to fall down a bit. My next bid is at 120. I'll tell you exactly there. Oh no, I didn't. Did I get filled down there? I don't have a bid now. All right, so I got to put another bid down here. 120. I must have not put it. 122.05, something like that, right in front of 122. Let's just put a bid down there, and then we'll get it going in a couple minutes. And then we'll hold about a third left. So if we do get that 122.15 fill, we'll hold a third left, and we'll figure out what's going on. And the AMC shares is what we're waiting for now, as hopefully a move lower.
I'm going to thank Mike for the super chat, but we're not going to get into it.
Yo, Fabian,
I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing so hopefully safely.
My guess.
What?
Lights, cameras, action. Yeah, we don't have enough cameras on us there.
We can't possibly need more cameras.
Come on, man. Got the bald spot camera going on.
Cameras to the left of them, cameras to the right of them.
I see what you're doing, Fabian. Come on, man. What's up with the bald can?
Got to get more shine on my head.
Yeah, exactly.
What you need to do is put a big spotlight so we can blind the viewers.
Whoa, Fabian. Take it easy over there. Let's see what live. Oh, I see what he's doing. He's trying to get it so it's live so that when he falls, there's no insurance problems. Like, it's clearly been,
Joke's on you. We don't even have we ain't got no HR.
Well, I'm HR, but we definitely, I don't know who's working the workers' comp.
I literally told him right now, if you drop something on my head, I'm suing you.
Well, suing is, I don't know if you can get away with suing him, but you could definitely, get that.
I thought she said swinging. I'm like, oh,
swinging you could do.
Yeah,
suing,
go right ahead. No,
he
drops like, go right ahead. I would, take a swing too if he's gonna do that to you.
I did everything right.
Yeah. Suing's a problem.
Don't let that happen.
So there it is, man. We get it right there. We have some diamond hands. See if we could do it, man, on SpaceX. You got Baya off?
Well, it won't break out. So it's done the halt down, made the bottom, but it won't break out this 370 level. So Nick was like, well, do you like the long or the short? Well, if it breaks out this 370, yeah, it looks like a risk to reward would at least favor the long, at least up and until like right around here, like 450, like 420 and 450. But it's just not breaking that. It's not breaking that level yet. So that's one worth watching. It's got good volume, despite the fact that it's getting its absolute butt kicked. Could do 100 million shares today. Netflix still in the same area. So we grabbed the breakdown through the stop here at the half and just looking for it to flush down. And I'm taking bids in front of 67 10s. And then we're looking for LOD as these guys, continue to look, I want to say relatively weak. The daily chart is just god awful on Netflix. But yeah, unless I see something, it's, no, Netflix.
Not nice.
It's not good. Yes, you've got that reversal candle, but overall, it just feels like they're still on the downward swing here for Netflix. Not a big fan of theirs. It looks like IBM's got a better chance to break or to hold a bid of the ones that got Huadunk last week. But then their problem is for IBM is that they actually still have to report. Another name, though, someone asked in the chat, and my response to them was, I'm not a huge fan of swinging right before earnings. Not my cup of tea. I'd rather make plays after earnings when you get a couple of days worth of price action that can give you a better hint as to where things are going to go. What do we think of Intel's earnings? I'd like to believe that they have fallen far enough. Like this stock is 40-something% off of the highs. So, but it couldn't hold that $100 level that we wanted to see it hold today. So for myself, I was looking for 100. If it could have held that and broken out here, this would have been a long setup today. Instead, more rejection of the hundo levels. I don't like that at all. I don't like the fact that it lost that hundo. I wanted to see a nice potential little breakout for us. Oh, Baya is going to lose the bid.
Oh.
Looks like that one is not. I just saw someone pull a couple of orders that for size. I guess they were faking it above 350. Too much fake size on this stock. It looked like it was about to break higher, and then someone just pulled their bids.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like these are tough ones, especially when they're just halting back and forth.
It's got to break it. It's got to break 70s.
That ZYBT halted again. So it hasn't stayed open. Oh, it stayed open for 2 minutes right there somehow, but it hasn't otherwise. So remember we were just talking about this at 340, then it tapped higher, and I was like, well, if it breaks at 380, you got to watch out. Here's a break right now at 380. It's broke 375 was the halt price. Now it's coming 390. So those of you looking at that one, 390 is a look there. I did take another one out, so we'll go Sires again. We took an 05 there. It's not like it's rocket science here, just trying to get out before we break down lower. If it does come back up, great. But it's not looking like the market, which is really sad because we did have the TQQs on earlier, but there it is, right breaking into the lows of the day one more time. And here's what my TQQ trading looked like today. We were short, right? What was that? Oh, yeah, that was right off the open. Yeah. We were short right there once we built it into the VWAP, which worked out quite well, man. We actually even added to it downside there, then added, down. And then our last one is where it finally gets stopped out. It rips back into 70 there, pretty clean into some of these pre-market levels. And now the rest is history with the market as we go down. Right now to the market, and down goes SpaceX. And finally, some amazing money being made right now, jokes aside. 2.5 cents, well, we're short at 41s, 2.5 cents there on AMC as we get, 2 cents at 39. I'm actually bidding 38s was the bigger fill, so we need to wait for that. We take some 39s there finally on the downside and just playing around. We'll see if it comes back in. I took out 10% there, another 10% at 38. And then we'll hopefully get a downside push. I mean, breaking the 200 would be nice. That's only 37s. So we'll get out a little bit ahead of that and then hopefully break lower. But, you know, we have thousands of shares here, so it's not, it's fine. You know, if we could take it just a couple pennies, and like I said, man, pay for that date night or lose it all coming up very, very soon. But yeah, SpaceX $1, we took it at 122, waiting for lower now. We'll see if we can get that fill. DRAM, SK, Hynix maybe, is that back where it needs to be? Oh, long cost, okay.
This isn't cost.
155. Okay.
This is it's Cosmos Energy.
Yeah.
I saw KOS. I did the
KOS at double S.
I did the same thing too. I immediately pulled up cost, which is a stock I actually know. We don't. I shouldn't say we, but I don't. I'm not familiar with these guys. What I can tell you is it's got a pretty decent, like almost 600 million float. So it's not like it's a super tiny float. 5% short. There's no volume on it. Like 8 million, which is okay, but nothing special today. So like, why would it be a long if it's not doing extra volume today? Which means you have to be thinking about the longer term. Maybe you are. Again, I don't know anything about this company. It's holding the 200. It's now got an upward sloping 200 period moving average. It did do, like, since it broke, like the golden cross. So technically, which is a good sign of like reversing, it's held the 200 period moving average. So at least it's got that going for it. And again, it's upward sloping. But what's the catalyst here for KOS specifically? Because it's not doing any volume. Like, I don't see, you wouldn't probably day trade this either. Yeah, just curious as to why you were looking at that particular name. Because I'm not really seeing anything on KOS. If it was costs, that was only good during meme stock days when we were all big fans. Oh, it didn't get filled. No way, Baya. Baya did not get filled when it just broke 70s. Why? Because it already went up into a halt. So I don't know, I just jumped on the bid and end up with like 90s. But we wanted this breakout here at 370, but it just flashed up. Now it's halted to the upside. I'll just put a stop underneath here at 345. Maybe it gives me a chance to jump and add shares after the reopen, but just looking to see if this one will close the gap. So that's a BIYA, just another halt. It's halted about 5 or 6 times, but not as many times as that ZYBT. So up halt, which it hasn't done since 10:30 in the morning on BIYA.
Yeah, hopefully that's start of a move higher right now. Oh yeah, that's right. I got to get that poll going. How many of us are trading full time? Yeah, that would be another great poll. We could get in there. Hopefully not many of us trading full time. Neil and I, of course, none of us are trading full time here. We just, we're trading during the show, and we've talked about this. Some of our revenue obviously derived from the show, and some from trading. So full time traders, of course, I would assume that primarily your income is derived from trading, and I think that's a great question to ask. I would maybe say 10% of you maybe are full-time traders, but I don't know. That's a great one to ask, actually. I got to get that poll going immediately on both things. If you have, I don't even have the poll thing.
Hold on a second.
Right here. I thought I did have it. I was waiting for Fabian to send me the poll.
No. I have it bookmarked.
Oh yeah, maybe I have it bookmarked.
I do.
We could do. I think that's good. I think that's actually a good question. How many traders are trading full-time on the stream? I think that's reasonable to ask, and it'd be interesting to see how many of you are doing that. Let's go spin some money. Oh, I did want to check, and for those of you that are trading full-time, I will check on the money that's made here at Real Trading. Neil and I, of course, trading on a prop floor, so you got to be careful with that. Anybody that's trading prop, different rules, different risk parameters, all of that, right? So Neil and I not trading our own money, trading prop money. And we do have the compare your profits. So this is, again, Trader Information Portal. This is live here right now. You can check out, economic calendar, some research, different trader alerts that happen here at Real Trading. And then we can also see, I click on show your profits, compare your, oh yeah, it's the same. So we didn't, I guess maybe this is right. This is how much money traders here at Real Trading. There's about 2,500. I can get the exact number soon. How many traders are here live trading? That we have some that are only have a $50 shutdown, some that have much more, so on and so forth. Like I said about a prop floor, but 47,000. That's like in monster days. So these should be Friday's numbers, I guess. Generally it's a day after. I just thought we already seen this. I thought I remember seeing Turkey in this area before. But anyway, it doesn't matter whether or not this is Thursdays or Fridays. Some of the numbers that have been put up. So if you say we have over 2,000 traders worldwide, which we do, and number 10 is 6,000. So, you know, we don't have the downside of it, but I guarantee you, like, the downside on this day is probably not as bad as this, but, you know, there's probably traders that lost, you know, in the multiple thousands as well. So that happens all the time. So this is who's making the top 10 traders here at Real Trading on, I'll just say Friday, assuming this is all accurate.
Okay, what did you want for the poll? I got
No, just what the super chat was. Just basically how many traders,
how many?
or how many of you viewers or traders, I don't know, are trading full time?
Oh, well, just are you trading full time?
Are you trading full time?
Not how many, because we don't want people guessing. We want people telling whether they are.
Put in brackets like
Are
primary
you
income.
Trading?
I think that's.
Oh, okay. I'll just put that. Is
trading your primary source of income? Yeah, I think that's it.
That's
a worker.
So when I get this done, don't vote yet. Yes is going to be 1 and 2.
There we go. Yeah, you don't want people just hitting random buttons.
Usually it's just, there we go. Yes is going to be 1 and no is going to be 2, but I haven't started it yet. We don't need to put that all caps because all caps will just make people more likely to vote it. So we'll start the voting.
Full-time bag holder, that's a good one.
I didn't put a question mark, but don't at me. It is what it is. Just trading your primary income, just 1.
At Neil.
First of all, if you're not in the chat, then you can't vote. So if you would like to vote, then jump into the chat. It's a subs-only chat. Hit that subscribe button right about now if you're not already a sub.
It's always the first little jump that is pretty accurate. So it's almost 50-50 right here.
I find it stays like that first little jump, and then it doesn't really waver all that much.
No,
like the early sample is pretty good. 50-50 of the current viewers in the chat, or those that are voting. But let's be real for a second. We have the selection bias going on here.
Is there?
Right? Because how many well, I would think so. How many viewers do we have? Uh-oh. Why does I just hit full screen and yeah, thank you to YouTube.
Were you trying to find YouTube?
No, I was trying to go here and thank you.
4,300
watching, and this is way behind. So let's just hit live. 4,300 watching, but we only got about 100. We had about 100 votes on that so far. Now 150. So it's not representative of all of the viewers. It's a very small fraction.
Of course.
But that's what I'm getting about selection bias.
It's like voting.
You're much more likely, and we get this all the time, you're much more likely if it's a question like this to give like the positive affirmative if you are doing it full time. And someone who's passive is much less likely to even answer whatsoever. It's like anything else there. I think the truest polls we get are like, what's your opinion on like a stock that's widely held or widely traded? Those are the most pure, because you're going to get a ton of votes, and pretty much everyone has thoughts on Google.
Well, someone super chatted, so we asked it right there.
Oh, absolutely. I have nothing wrong with the question. I just think there's a little selection bias that goes on.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we are watching a show here, and you guys are. I'm really surprised, because we do know that it's like 95 to 100% of people that try to trade for an income fail. So hopefully you guys, so I'm just really surprised with that. That's great though. Hopefully we have traders that have some longevity and that have seen some success in their trading. So that is amazing. We want to say thank you for that. And I think that's a testament to hopefully what we're trying to show you guys here as day traders. Like I've only traded 4 names today, trying to be very, very specific. And a lot of us have done many different styles. And that's the best part about it, is figure out your style and rock with it. That is for sure. And hopefully you guys can make money. That's a bit I'm very surprised. 50-50. Okay, so we'll get back to that right there. Thank you so much, Alan. He makes profit most days because of us. Well, okay. That'd be nice. Maybe you should be sitting here, I think, because I don't know if I make profit most days or not. But here we come. SpaceX trying to bid out now. We did get 121.80s there. So I have less than half of this position on, but I do want to try to hold. It's only 253 right now. We still have an hour and change to go, but I just have obviously way too many outs on the way down. They're all just very, very partial amounts of shares, taking it out to the downside. I don't really just go, one in, one out, but I do have to. I've been saying this forever, have to work on that. All right, so we're probably going to get more shares here at 244. So it looks like we only got out at 10% there. We told you. Actually, I could check. It might have been 15%. But we're waiting now for more shares at 44, I believe. If we can get some of that, that would be good. And then we'll go from there on our last position, on our last little sort of, offer. And then we'll see if we can get some bids. But right now you can see, okay, there it is. We get the 44s now short. So now we do have our full position here on the market on this particular trade. And now we'll wait to see if we do get a push down. Now we're short at 242. So just averaged into it. 242, if we lose 5 cents, that's about where it will be. It won't be a nice hit, but it'll be a hit if that does break the high of the day on AMC. And I don't like hitting the trend like this. I'm just surprised it's up this much and saw a little bit of a barcoding happening here. So thought for a potential downside push, but it looks like the long, David and everybody else in the chat, was right. The long there off of 240 would have given me 4 cents. And I'd just be lucky enough to get 4 cents, I feel like, on this move lower. So hopefully it does come back into the downside. So far, not really that good on this one. And so far, so good on the reload here for SpaceX. And the NASDAQ bouncing off exactly, again, like those lows of the day. The word exact is not appropriate, but into that range of 28.8. Bouncing off of those levels one more time there is the market. So we got to go over to SIA, but I mean, we could talk about BIYA. That opened back up again, it looks like.
Yeah, it's back open. Looks like it's trying to hold 350. Well, at 347 specifically, that's where the out is going to be. It's the prior bar from the halt price. So as long as it holds on to 350, we wanted 370 on a break. So unless this holds a couple of candles here showing me that it's not going to go in and out, I don't want to add to it, but I'm looking for the gap fill to 450. So I'm not taking it out unless it breaks $4 and gets at least 40 to 50 cents in the money. Like, that's where the first take profit is going to be. Like, if the risk in this is like 40 pennies, then I want to make sure that's what it gets me. And if we do add to it, then I might tighten up the stop and then maybe scalp it if it breaks that 4 even. The volume's okay, but I don't know, considering it just did the up halt, you would usually like to see the volume pick up after that. Like, I want the volume pick up here and then not immediately be decreasing. So ideally, you're going to have more volume on the second 3-minute candle and show that there's actually something going on with this bad boy. We're going to see and it's oddly enough, the small cap recap.
It's small cap recap indeed. IWM currently down 0.20% at the moment. I have 2 individual tickers for you. So QMLS is down 33.3% at the moment. Announced the purchase of 1,632 NVIDIA Blackwell B300 GPUs to meet accelerating customer demand for high-performance AI compute. Stock does not seem to like that. It's down 33.3% at the moment. SG, Sweetgreen, is down close to 7% on the day. So the stock had soared initially on Friday when Taco Bell had announced the linked outbreak. But today, shares seem to have plunged very close to 7%. So you have QMLS down 33.3% and SG down close to 7%.
Okay, yeah, a little quick recap there. I did want to show you guys the broader market just real quickly here because, today's, again, another pretty mixed day as we look at the S&P 500 here. Not good in healthcare technology, right? I mean, our health technology is Eli Lilly down, J&J down, Merck down. And that makes sense. I mean, on a day where it's risk on in the overall market, the NASDAQ being up 0.5% and same with the SPY. So just a little surprising there. I mean, I really like this space. So any kind of a dip down over here, like J&J and Eli. These are really, J&J, Eli Lilly, and AbbVie are the only ones out of all. I own small Pfizer, but these are the 3 big ones that I own right there. Been holding AbbVie for 20 years. Same as J&J, but we've added recently to J&J, not to AbbVie. And Eli Lilly is just like a thing we've had basically in the last year and a half. Basically got into Eli Lilly pretty heavy whenever Google was at like 160 or so, because I got out of Google at 160. Like, that was a genius move, and then bought Eli Lilly, so that was okay for now. Broadcom, Apple, Micron, so 3.5% there for Intel today. That's going to be a good one. GE down there today, 2.3%. I don't know, that's an electronic technology, so okay. SNDK, wow, up another 4% there as that name just keeps on climbing. In technology services, Oracle did break that low, so that's down 3%. We can have another look over there at Oracle now, 122. Wow, Oracle, just how the mighty have fallen quite aggressively there with Oracle. Now we're now $1.25 in the money on SpaceX. IBM on day 4, I think, of their report there of early earnings release. They're going to report Wednesday night, so we're going to have to watch out for IBM coming through. Nice bounce back, but still at 214. I mean, that 220 break is really the killer there for IBM. Just financials as well, right? Oops, we had big financials last week. We have Charles Schwab coming later on, which I'm small invested in Charles Schwab as well. But for me, it's JP Morgan is the big one, and wherever Goldman Sachs is the other trade bank name that I have as well. Wells Fargo, I almost put that on the list. to buy heading into the next little while. They have great bank earnings, obviously well supported there. Wells Fargo right now down 1.21% in the banking space. And consumer durables, Tesla takes a big chunk of this one. I don't know, man. We know the Tesla story is just about the cars right now, so consumer durables or not, I don't really think it's appropriate for them to be in there, but it is. GM, Ford as well, just such a big chunk of it to the downside. And then I wanted just to have one more quick look at utilities, because although we've seen, you know what, I shouldn't say anything. I haven't looked at USO for a minute. I'll call about another chart. Okay, so USO's at the high of the day, actually. And right into here, utilities not doing too much, but that's not it. Where's energy? There it is. Here we go. This is what it is. So the green space today. Valero, wow, good for them, and on the refining aspect of it all there as well. And then XOM and CVX. So we actually highlighted both. I highlighted XOM, and they're at 135 that day because I thought that this moved too far too fast, just like I thought oil did to the downside as well. So those are a couple of good calls on XOM, and that was at 135. Now 148 in just a couple, maybe a week and a half there. Good movement there for XOM, and Randy is one of the largest shareholders in XOM. So there it is, man. Nice move there for Randy, up now 1% as he's supervising the cleaning of the floors over there. I hope he's not getting those guys to mop too quickly.
Oh, he's gone by now.
Okay, SpaceX making a move down. We did take, look, I was getting a little frustrated. We took some 41s off of a 42 short right now for AMC. I don't know. Like, honestly, man, just taking out 10%. If we can get something a little lower at 40s, we'll do that again. And then we'll wait for 38s, and that's right where the 200 period is. And then hopefully get that. Okay, good. Boom. We get a 40 as well. So, yeah, money, a little bit there. Oops, the wrong one. Money in the barrel. Want to make sure it stays in there, like shooting fish in a barrel here with AMC. But the fish are overtaking the barrel because AMC up 25% right there. And as the wife and I get ready for date night, we're going to go see Obsessions in the VIP. We're going to get keys to the VIP. We're going to go do that. The last VIP we went to was the Joker. I think I was either telling you that or mentioning that maybe
I remember that.
Friday. And that was the first one.
You remember
with what's his name is? I think.
Did we ever tell the story about the keys to the VIP guy?
What, the guy, or that we used to watch it?
No, the guy. You remember this?
Well, yeah. What was the story again?
When we were back at the old office, when the trading floor.
Oh, the guy came to see us.
When the trading floor was back, this is
because he knew we were VIP. You know,
this is like 15 years ago. The keys to the VIP. The guy that created the show actually came. He was interested in doing a trading.
Right.
It was like some kind of a weird it was a competition show, and he came in and he took us out and like asked us a bunch of questions about like markets and trading.
Right, way back.
I'm trying to remember it was so long.
How the hell are you gonna remember his name? Anyways,
I don't remember his name.
VIP is a
great
Canadian show where they basically get these guys that are like, you know, they think they're like all that basically, and they follow them off. Well, they're not. I mean, if you see some of the guys on
but think they're all that. That's
they're all. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Exactly.
So and then they follow them around a club basically. And they just try to pick up girls.
No, and there's 3 judges.
Yeah, and they give them different missions.
Yeah, like they're like, you have to do it saying
you get
this,
a number
or
in the next 5 minutes.
You only ask questions or something.
So that's what Neil based his game on, was that show. And I don't think it worked out very well there, based on the show anyways. So yeah, it was a good show. We used to watch it during lunchtime when we had our office. And around here, of course, we have no fun. We just, you know, do the show the whole time. And
yeah,
we should be putting prices right on the big screen.
Back in the trading floor, we'd put up like Shark Tank. Sometimes
tell it to Kevin O'Leary, man.
Sometimes we would throw up like The Price is Right or Keys to the VIP when the market was slow in the middle of the day. No word of a lie.
We're making some good money here. 170 now in the. That was a fun show. I only think they only had like 10 episodes. I don't think they had that many episodes. I feel like at some point the clubs were like, man, we can't just have these guys walking around doing this.
Oh, it was very.
But. Yeah. I think
positive for
Joe might have been in one episode. But here's the move down into 121. We'll see what winds up happening right now. We've taken some more profit off of that one. And here comes AMC. Hopefully down into 35s, okay, for advanced micro cinemas. AMC right there. All right, that's that. And, super chat.
Yes, that is the guy.
Cheese and a chair. Sean, I've been well served over the years by adopting your high conviction trade theory. Okay, good. Google is currently my largest position.
Great stock.
Like that one. I think it's mine. Well, my largest, I've already told you, is SPY, but after that, I think stock-wise, it's going to be Google as well. All right, but but what sympathy laggards do you see benefiting most by a great Wednesday night for Google. Okay, so if we think that Google is going to have a big report, who do we think can win from that? I mean, again, it's going to depend on what drives that report, right? I mean, if it's going to be great cloud business, then you're going to see AWS and you're going to see Azure and all those names. So Amazon and Microsoft get some nice headwinds to that as well, right? If you're going to see something about their TPU game being quite strong, then you could look at, Broadcom and something like that that's going to help build some of these custom ASICs out as a possibility for pretty strong. Google, I mean, I don't think Waymo doesn't push like Waymo's not an Uber thing. That's not going to push the envelope there for anybody if Waymo was huge, I don't think. I think it does a lot. I mean, I'd have to look up their different segments and what we're expecting, but the cloud is just so huge for Google.
If they justify the CapEx, that could be good for the power names too. Like that. Think about
I mean,
Lamb.
It could be good for Oracle. I mean, if the money. This is the thing. If they can prove that Gemini is actually money making, like it's not, but if they can prove that there's some free cash flow being developed here from some of these trades. Some of these decisions that they've made as far as CapEx, then yeah, I could see GEV and IREN, CoreWeave, something like this that are trying to sell, compute and sort of this whole data center and maybe even an Oracle, maybe catching a little bit of a drift there. But right now, so thank you. I mean, I think that's a great question. Look to the chat. I'm going to put that question to the chat and Neil can pipe in what you sort of did there with some of the power centers there. But I think that's a good one. And anybody in chat, let me know, Wagwan, with that. But it's a nice move down in right here. And just like that, man, AMC is going to move to the top of my list here, P&L-wise, if we continue this move lower. We did take a 38 fill right there, and I like what that's looking like. So let me put out another bid here at 38, see if we're able to capture some fills there. Check out what's going on with SpaceX, because right now into the afternoon, man, oh boy, man, we're making some money here this afternoon into the close. So far, so good right there. I just got a message from Cineplex, I guess, making sure that we're ready to rock and roll there tonight. Are you a popcorn guy? Or nachos guy, candy guy.
I'll be straight up. I'm not a popcorn person in the theater. Give me not that I try to do that, but like Twizzlers or like those Raisinets are my go-to, man. Oh my god.
I like chocolate covered almonds.
Chocolate covered almonds, yes, but not in the theater. The Raisinets were like my jam. Straight up.
The movie theater popcorn hits way different.
This is?
I'm not Joe's movie theater popcorn hits different.
It does.
It does.
You can even order it
I'm just
by
not
DoorDash.
I'm not a popcorn guy. That's all.
I love popcorn. Extra butter for Joe.
Candy.
Sia, what are you saying?
Mike and Ike.
Extra butter is nasty. You get to pump it into your popcorn. It's nasty. But I think this is the most underrated one. Salted, because in India we'd
Joe, put on your mic,
popcorns that were we'd have flavors that they would sell us, like cheese. You can mix the cheese and
dill pickle.
Which is what I'd love. There would be no powder. It would be actual flavor in front of you.
Okay,
it would come hot into your popcorn tub, and I can't get used to Canadian popcorn because I don't like it.
Nah, you're talking about flavor.
Man. I mean, Canadian popcorn.
I feel like popcorn.
Yo, Mini Joe is in the middle there. I like this one. Joe looks like, oh, hi, Joe.
Hey.
How are you doing, Joe?
I didn't even see him there until.
I'm in there, man.
He looks like a bobblehead over there.
No, Ramin's got the right ideas. There's a little secret. Yeah, she typed it in the chat. What you get them to do is put a little layer of popcorn, butter, layer of popcorn, butter, layer of popcorn, butter.
Yeah, the halfway move.
That's too much.
Also, I just said
there's
popcorn
no
and
such
Reese's
thing.
Pieces too.
The ketchup flavor.
Reese's
Pieces legit.
No,
Candies were that's where I'm at.
Over
Give me some
taking
candy.
next level.
No,
over
into
here.
the popcorn.
Huh?
No,
Yes.
hell no,
Yes,
hell no.
all of
No,
that.
all right.
Tastes amazing.
I'm gone now.
You're not about chocolate over there, my guy, Joe?
Well, hold on a second.
Some people do sprinkle, you can put in different chocolate things into your popcorn. So it's like a trail mix.
Yeah, I love trail mix, but not.
I love trail mix.
But
You gotta put
buttered
the
popcorn
M&Ms.
with candy in it?
Yeah, no,
bro,
that's crazy.
Nah, that's crazy.
Reese's Pieces and Skor Bar are probably my top two, but they have to be in the freezer. I need my chocolate cold.
I love chocolate all day, every day. All of those candies, I'm gonna eat all of it. Straight up, but not in the popcorn, buttery popcorn with, you know what though?
How come Neil turns gangster when we start talking about food all the time?
But that being said, I have a rule that you can't say, and I'm breaking my rule right now. I'm saying I don't like something without having tried it. Which straight up, if you're talking about food, I tell my daughters all the time, don't give me this nonsense about you don't like it if you haven't tried it. If it's food, at least try it. So at some point, I have to try this pop candy and popcorn nonsense that you guys are talking about. But just very quickly, you'll see we did get up to 450, almost exactly at the 450 mark, which, by the way, it's not some random price. Just go back to Friday on, what is the name of this? BIYA. It's not BIA, but let's just call it BIA. A 450 was at resistance. It spiked right into 450 and out. So that was the target we were looking for. We jumped in at 390, took it to 450. I'm out of it. It's already topping tail. Didn't pay for short, so I'm not gonna, well, I don't think we can short. I'm assuming we can't short this. No, we can't short it. And I didn't pay for short, so not really looking for reversal there. Just have to try to find what's gonna be next here. Easy peasy. Took it slow versus last week, 13K plus. Today, 2.7. Short and SNDK, no reversal. I would not be profitable without Sean Neal's wisdom. Props, thankful. Thank you for the super chat there, easy peasy. For those who don't know, that's the 0.2%. That's where you get the $5.55 from.
Man, this guy just
triple
makes so much more money, man.
Triple fives for easy peasy. SNDK, yikes, yikes, and yikes. Well, we talked about what could catch some strays in the positive sense for if on Wednesday. If you want to look at the places where things could get hairy if it doesn't go well for you, not just Alphabet, man. Like, if GE Vernova has poor guidance in the morning, and then Alphabet, let's say, drops their capex spending, it's game over for a lot of things in the AI space. Memory names will be right off the bat. I think that would bode pretty poorly. Like, I'd be scared about Lamb if it goes the other direction as well. LRCX, AMAD, I think would be another one that we should be watching out for. As SNDK, yikes. It was nasty, nasty, nasty reversal at 1,500 almost exactly on a dime. And then you gapped up today and then didn't really do anything with the gaps. Yeah, not a good look for them. Wasn't great. I took one shot at DRAM this morning, like basically breaking out the high and giving it to VWAP. That was the long I was looking for. It never got to my 52 level. And even if it gets to 52 today, that's too late in the day. It's 310 already. So that's just a completely different trade. There was no dip into 52, and there was really no, I mean, the breakout would have been even a continuation over 55.5. So no strength in DRAM or SNDK. Mopar, buttery popcorn.
I don't think there's pineapple.
Well, that's just a troll.
And
that's just a troll, obviously.
I just want to show everybody like the different styles of trading. We've talked about this. If I were to exit out of my whole position right here, and I only have a third left of AMC, it would be P&L number one for the whole stream. Okay, so it's just like, this is just to show you guys, like, if you trade these names, you could put on obviously a lot of size if you wanted to, or try to maybe put on a little less, and then like that's why my stop out was so tight on this, and that's why I'm trying to take profits here. So it's 311 right now, and I don't want this to get like too carried away right now. So but I still want to hold it for some lows. So I'm just trying to debate on what to do, and you never want to make a trade based on P&L or anything. So now that we're well in the money, but at this time of day, I do look down and I say, like, I've made some mistakes, in some of the trading and so on and so forth. So I do try to actually, look at things as a, where's the next trade, instead of just trying to hold on and make like every single trade like the one. So we just took out the 200 period. So I really do think like a VWAP would be a great out. So I'm going to start putting more outs here. And if I'm all out by the time it gets to 30, I'm actually pretty fine with that. Because remember, AMC is a New York name. So if I'm remembering this for myself right now, actually, as I say, remember this. I'm looking for it here on the imbalance locator. Like, the last thing I want is for someone to pop this thing up, and the next thing you know, like 5 million to buy shows up here, and then it has like a bid until 350. And then, everything I'm talking about, one of the bigger winners here, it won't turn into a bigger loser because now we're playing with house money. But at the end of the day, like, you got to be very, very cautious about what you're doing. And all of us will trade, quite different than the rest. So you got to just make sure that whatever style you're doing, you know what you're doing. It's not like, just because I'm taking some outs here, it doesn't mean that this thing doesn't have the ability to fall back in. So if you're trading options or whatever, obviously a 44-cent high there into 30, well, you just touched 35s there, I guess, which is where we're at right now. That's actually pretty good for me. Into 35, like, that's not a huge move, but 9 cents, depending on what you have up there, is not horrible. So just giving that to you guys. And, you know, it's like on that good trade that Nia and Sia there. Nia.
We have a Nia on our team.
Right there. I was going to say, like,
me up all the time.
Based on BIYA, this is going to be a completely different look. Like, these names are going to be halting all over the place. So it's good to, you know, hold something a little bit against you and judge the range on these stocks, right? So that's what we're. Oh, now we're at 34. Okay, I'm going to take another bid here at 34 on AMC and wait to see if we get a 31 down there to the downside. But meanwhile, someone in the chat is like, oh, you guys are talking all about popcorn, but what about the market? Yeah, man, we are not $1 in the money. Talking about keys to the VIP right here. They're opening the door for us right now. This is now $2 in the money, and we're starting to bleed down again. So we already have some outs down here at 121. So now let's let this thing break, and we'll get a little lower on this. I believe I have somewhere like 20% left on this trade. So what this one was, a short at 123, out at 123.50. So 50 cents worth of risk to take in now $1.83, and thought we've done pretty good to hold that right there. But there it is, easy peasy. I mean, you're 100% right. This is, part of it is, wow, I just refreshed our chat. It was 5,000 messages right there. All right, so going over, I didn't even read this. It was something about going over mistakes. So I hope this doesn't burn me. Going over the mistakes is hard for someone less experienced than you, but it made a big difference. Well, there it is, man. And you're always going to have mistakes in trading. It's just a matter. Is it? First of all, it's not really a mistake. Like, whenever I'm into a trade, I'm in it for a reason. Like,
there's a difference between a losing trade and a mistake.
You're right.
Actually, I did this for the lesson of the day. There's a difference between, like I called Alibaba a mistake. The Alibaba long was a win, but it was a mistake because it was, to me, one of the top two setups, technically speaking, but then I didn't trade it as such because it happened at 11 o'clock and not 9:30 or 10 o'clock, right? So it was a mistake not to treat it differently because at 11 o'clock, I'm like, yeah, whatever, just get into it and throw a couple of stops and some take profits, reverse it like normal when it tries to break, like all that kind of stuff. Instead of treating this as, well, this was one of the big longs that I liked, and when it didn't happen at the open, I just kind of didn't give it as much juice. That's a mistake. So you have a winning long can be a mistake, but like the short to me, like that lose, I'll take that every single time. The mistake, if anything, was the fact that I didn't have 2 or 3 times more the long. I treated it like an 11 o'clock trade, even though it was a good setup. And ultimately, well, I guess we're going to go to Sia. We'll come back, maybe talk about some more trades. We can look at some small cap, or someone just said, is there any other ones that are going? Sorry to tell you, if there was something else, it's ZYBT.
It's all that's filling it up.
It's basically that and BIY. And this stock is not, like ZYBT, doesn't matter. This is not very tradable, I think, for a lot of people. Just simply because it's going from halt to halt. Like what made BIYA tradable was when it did the halt up and then opened holding that low. Like, you can get long at a price in here, have a reasonable stop, and it's not gonna halt as easily. So you're sitting there in like a normal trade where I can get it going to there, I can have my stop order without having to worry about it going into a halt and you're not stopped out. Like, that's the death keel on one of these is setting your stop. Like, let's say you take a break, let's say you take a long here, breaking out this high at 370, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna put my stop at 350 or underneath, or maybe you wanna put your stop at 340. Like somewhere down in here, or even like 320. Those are all reasonable stops. The way this is halting, it could halt before it even triggers your stop order. Now what? What do you do then? Because there's no rule about how far it has to gap when it opens back up. Your 25-cent risk could turn into 50 cents, 70 cents, $1, because you're trapped in a halt trade. So this makes it very difficult to trade. It's up 666% and halted for the 2 millionth time, or I'm just gonna say 27th time, I'm making a number up. And the tap, what is it? Really? It's not going to open at $6. It's indicating $6. It's not going to open at $6.
No, because it just halted.
Yeah, it just halted now. I think we're going to the desk with Sia, I believe. My bad.
The SPY currently down 0.20%. Let's take a look at what is going on with the sectors right now. Electric tech, you have NVIDIA that's made a bit of a reversal in its gains, down 0.18%. You have Apple also down 1.6% at the moment. AVGO, MU, AMD, INTC continuing to hold a little bit of a bullish momentum from earlier in the day, but they seem to have lost a little bit of the gains right now. AMD is up 2.4%, Intel up 2.8%, MU up 1.6%, Dell sliding a little bit down more into its losses, 3% at the moment. S&DK is also down, holding a little bit of a steady momentum, I would say, up 2.2%, with GE KLAC still down on the day, and Marvell up 3.4%. You have technology services, Google still fairly not bad, up 1.5%, Microsoft up 1.7%, but Meta is currently flat, made a bit of a reversal over here. Oracle down 3.3% on the day. You have Palantir up 2.4%. Adara is giving a thumbs up to Oracle being down. You have PANW down 1.3%. Netflix down 2.15%. And IBM has currently decided to be flat when it was a little bit up earlier in the day. IBM flat at the moment. Finance, you have BRKB flat. JPM sliding further into the red, down 0.90%, closer to 1%. Visa and MasterCard holding relatively steady over here, I would say. Visa's up 0.72%. MasterCard is up 0.56% to be precise, whereas MasterCard, GSWFC, AXP, and BAC continuing to slide towards the downside. Retail trade, you have Amazon inching closer to be up 8% towards the end of the trading session. Walmart, it's down 1.5%, with Costco still down close to 1%, and Home Depot down close to 2%, with TJX trading relatively flat at the moment. Producer manufacturing, you have AMAT flat at the moment. CAT is inching closer, down 2% on the day. LRCX as well, down close to 2% on the day. You have GEV, one of the only strong names here in the green, up 1.5%. Health tech, however, we're seeing a bit of sliding losses over here. Lilly is down 2.2% at the moment, with J&J down 1.3%. ABBV also relatively flat, but still tilting a bit towards the red. MRK down 2% on the day as well. However, in health tech, you have this one name, ISRG, that's up 2% on the day, and ABT also up 1% on the day. Energy Minerals still looking strong from earlier trading day in session. XOM up close to 1%. CVX also up a little bit over 1%. You have consumer non-durables. Coca-Cola still flat. PG down on the day. PM down on the day, and PEP down 1.7%. Consumer durables, Tesla still continuing its trip to the downside, 2.7% at the moment. Utilities, still a bit of a mix here that I'm seeing from earlier in the day. Lots of red, lots of gray, a little bit of green. You have process industries, the same story here as well, along with industrial sectors where you're having a bit of a mixed sentiment throughout. However, in transportation, you have UPS that's continued to increase its losses, down 4% on the day. Dash is up 2.5%, and UAL seems to have lost a little bit of its gains from earlier in the day. It's up 0.83%, and that's all for your sector watch. Let's send it to Adara.
Not much of a move here yet in oil, but keep an eye on USO, guys. As far as news, so more Iranian state media reports here. They're saying that, according to the Deputy Secretary of Supreme NSC Bagheri over in Iran, the Strait of Hormuz is, quote, a critical leverage point for us. Iran won't show any leniency in this regard. So once again here, Iran holding firm when it comes to the Strait of Hormuz. Back to you.
Okay. I mean, we just tweeted out, like, will SpaceX have a new home underneath 120 as we close the day? And I answer my own question. I hope so, because we're short, and there's another fill right there at 120.80. So just been really good with taking these shorts. These fills. I know it looks like we have a lot, which we do, but just taking it like every 25 cents, every 50 cents, just making sure that this move. We did get burned on Friday when there's that random story at about 5 o'clock, 15 o'clock, 3 o'clock with that move higher. Now we're getting 322. Now remember, we do have the imbalance locator that we're going to have to deal with, which, by the way, AMC is starting to make a move higher. So even though I had that little bit of a rant there about managing your position and everything like that, there it goes right back there to the upside. And I thought we did pretty good. As we were with Sia there and Adara and Neil and all that, like, we got some more outs there at 38. So, a couple good outs there at 38 as we go a little higher. Just trying to think about the math. I have a little bit less than a third left on this trade, and I'm not going to reload it. So, like I said, we wanted to play with house money. These are the bigger outs right there at 38, and then we had a 36. And I was waiting at 30. I'm waiting at 34. We never got printed there. So that would have been another out, and then now we'll just wait for AMC because I am being a little bit nervous that there is going to be a buy imbalance into this. I mean, that little spike up right there for no reason. I mean, the market's downside. We started the day. I mean, if you're going to look over here.
I don't really look.
Yeah, I know. There's nowhere to look. I just looked there.
Because AMC's in New York, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I was looking earlier. If you're going to look at, okay, here we go. This is me shorting, going long on IBIT right there and talking about it, first of all. But this is the sticky note today. It was long IBIT 36.25. I mean, that was the low of the day. It gave us about 90 cents to the high side there. SpaceX, I had 123 long. We took it and then we flipped it. Now we've only really been short on SpaceX. Not necessarily profitable in the middle of the day, but the short's starting to print now. And the TXS, TQQs right there, 68 long. And that's right where it is just about now on the TQs. And the funny thing is we actually started the day short on the TQs instead of the long. So we went short right there off the open. That was not right. We wanted to go short against that level on this bump up. That got taken out, so that was fine. And then short into VWAP, that brought it down until eventually we broke higher. And now you're seeing it's bleeding all over the place right now is the TQQs. So, and SpaceX, of course, we just took a bid at 80. So we're getting lighter and lighter on all these positions as we head into the close. And, a new one. I think we just talked about this, didn't we? ADVB. Right there, up to $9. Right?
That's the one from this morning.
Yeah, that's the one. And halting again right now, ADVB on the small cap recap segment there. $9 right now and halted with the tap of 8.
Halted, you don't have the down candle? What?
No, yeah, see, so
I
was just going to say, how is it?
I looked at yours and like, that's a breakout.
No, because I just saw
up.
Yeah, so.
And this is what has happened.
Let me just show you there, Neil has the candle, I don't, but I don't know what's going on over here. This is why, okay, so I'm just gonna blame all my horrible trading on the fact that my charts aren't right, but no, there's 8.15 right there is the last. So yeah, we are trading halt down right there on 8. Because I was like, how are we at 9, but the tap is at 8? Like that's a big move down, but realistically, that was a great short into, past highs. So yeah, I mean, halting or not, that's a good little look there. And someone pushed the sell button on this name. So down goes ADVB with Fraser and Foreman to the downside. So we'll just wait now. We already do have a low of the all-time. We already have a fill at the all-time low here of 120.40s. Let's see if we can get that again. I'm going to put another bid at 120.50 for SpaceX. Bloom Energy down 7%. Yeah, that's been a nightmare.
Yeah, I actually thought for a second that ADVB was going to be a potential breakout play, but it's not going to be. Bloom, not a good look for Bloom. I doubt this is going to be remotely cheap for locates. There's a chance it could still break out. It is 326. It's a little bit late in the day for a breakout. Remember, the small cappers at least have a chance because they can go right up into the close. You don't have to worry about the imbalances ever for them. Like they're a trade that you don't even think about the imbalances for. ZYBT, did it open? I can't. Yeah, I guess it did. I guess it did open up and is back at like 615. Again, this one's not very tradable. If I saw another shot
halted again.
It's just, what are you going to do? It's going to halt every single time it opens back up, and there's just nothing you can do about it. You're either already in this and holding, or you're like crazy and want to go short it, or you're sitting there doing nothing. I'm kind of hoping like we get the one last shot for a potential breakout here in BIYA. The problem, I think, is here. I'm going to show you the volume. Like it, at least, see there's the halt. Like it picked up and was doing more volume post halt, culminating in that top. We got like the out at the top volume candle. Now it's dwindling. So I think that's a bit of a nothing burger. So unless you're looking at AVBD or, like I said, crazy enough to trade that other one, I'm not really seeing any juice at all. One stock might be a flat bottom break here is Intel. So this morning, 97 bottom at the open, 97 bottom early. If it breaks it well enough before the imbalances at 350, which it looks like it will, this could be a nice little breakdown trade on Intel. They report on Thursday. Let's go up to the desk. We've got one and Adara.
Ooh.
It's time to talk about the Asian markets because they're going to be opening in a matter of hours, but it's time to go over what they did last night and what we could expect from them tonight. Here to talk about that is one.
Thank you, Adara. So Asian markets, South Korea, of course, not looking so good. They haven't been performing well at all over the past few days, and they were on holiday on Friday for Constitution Day. So that catch-up, a lot of selling pressure, catching up, of course, to the global tech rout. there was a lot of backlog retail margin calls that immediately sent memory giants like SK Hynix, Samsung Electronics, they're all down into a bear market territory. Samsung down by like 4.12%. SK Hynix down by nearly 4%. It was really not a good look for South Korea. Hopefully they get better sooner or later. And on the positive side, though, if we take a look at the Shanghai Composite, the People's Bank of China pretty much helped inject a lot of short-term cash into the market. Now, this policy helped cushions also sparked a modest short covering. So that's the main reason why they're in the green. And what we need to take a look at for the open tomorrow, of course, Tokyo, today they were on holiday. Last night they were on holiday for Marine Day. So watch that Tokyo open very closely. The Nikkei 225 must, of course, absorb a lot of volatile regional shifts, including that of a thin market semiconductor moves. Monitor your memory chips such as Tokyo Electron. They might be facing some structural selling. And of course, that weak yen at 162.50, that could trigger an immediate export short squeeze. Other than that, your Kospi, of course, right now, 6,500. That is the precipice right now. That's the support. Watch if there's any state-backed stabilization funds that could step in and, buy some aggressive block buys. But if there's a clean break, it could trigger some automated margin liquidations for the second day in a row this week. And in India, Nifty 50. Okay, so the 24,200 is your support level, the primary defensive floor. We had over the weekend the mega bank earnings. That's all been digested now. So you watch if there's any domestic mutual funds that could break some financial highs, as well as, if crude oil anxieties, they could drag back the benchmark down to 24,100.
Keep an eye on Nikkei. Keep an eye on a lot of different markets here as we head into the Asian session. I do want to let you guys know I see this move in oil. I'm not seeing anything yet, and I actually did already go into social. He has not posted. You can see one again here, guys, at 11:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. every day to talk about the European and Asian markets, respectively. Back to you.
I did see what it was. It was, Dara will get it in a second. It's just President Trump there. He wants to make Iran pay for sort of the damages and the loss of life and all this, and he wants something about the MOU being tied up right here, memorandum of understanding. Let's go back over to Dara, who's found the story over here.
So this is not really new information, but there's a report here coming from Axios. They're citing an unnamed U.S. official saying that, quote, right now, Trump, of course, President Trump of the U.S., is focused on making Iran pay for their violations of the MOU and their continued act of terrorism in the Strait of Hormuz. So we already know this. President Trump said this basically verbatim and actually in much harsher terms on her socials today. So this is something we already know. But again, Axios reporting that a U.S. official has said that Trump is focused on making Iran pay. So he said that today. He said for any lives they take, they're going to be basically doubling that. Back to you.
Okay, so that's that's what I was saying. I kind of knew something was up with that. Someone asked me about the Rolex here, and I just wanted to show everybody, we have Kevin O'Leary on here a couple times, and he's been on for a very long time. This is the last 16 years, starting with one being 2010. So I actually just got my watch back in when we had COVID, so 2020 to 2021. So you could see here, just as an investment, I guess the market's outpacing it. I should have put some money into there, but just as a wearable asset, I guess. We talked about wine and now sports cards. So I was actually looking for something like this for sports cards, but cards, not cars. Or Pokemon cards, collectible cards, I should say, at this point. But you could see, though, the price of watches also going upside right here, as is fine wine, art, things like that, upside. So we just printed this off right there, but there it goes. I don't know, I found this on some website. I don't know if it's completely true. It's just taking the resale prices of watches. So we always have Kevin on, and he's double-barreled on the watches all the time. And when I remember a long time ago, he had some businesses with insuring watches and things like that. So just saying that, that's also been a decent spot if you haven't been able to, or not trusting the actual stock market. We've seen the epic rise, obviously, of Bitcoin, and then now the fall back in. But, watch is not a horrible idea. Okay, AMC is coming back in. I do have a bid at 36. right now. So I did take a small fill at 40 there for 4 cents. I mean, again, our stop is about 4 cents from here. So, you know, we'll give it a little bit of run up to the upside. Right now, my stop was $2.47. So I'm still bidding 36s, and that's that. We'll have to wait for a move down. 36, 31, 25. That's what I'm dealing with. It just got into 37.38, but bought right back up as Neil and I wait for these imbalances to come through. And I'm not that concerned with it. I have, like I said, a third left of this, actually less than a third. Let's call it 25% left of the position, but I do not see a MC on here anywhere. So waiting for that to come through. And hey, look, if it's going to do 170 million shares today and it's not even in the multiple millions, then I'm not that worried about it. So let's see if that can hit out for us. And then SpaceX, yes? Oh, he said 1, not Sean. Okay, SpaceX down here at 120.50. I'm just trying to see if we can break the low of the day. That's 120.10. So I'm actually sitting just ahead of, I'm actually at 120.51s right now. I'm surprised we just didn't get that fill. So if that breaks, then fine. And then we'll wait for 120 to give us, hopefully, another trade. So that's what I'm doing now, just into the close and, you know, waiting for something to happen there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you're not going to break down that intel anymore because I think that spike downside in oil just saved it. It was cruising right to a 97 break, which was a triple bottom on Intel. We might still get there. There's still about 15 minutes to go to the imbalances, but this is one name that does usually have an imbalance of a few million shares. This and NVIDIA, it's like a coin flip that they'll have a couple million shares on an imbalance. So I wouldn't want to be in it at like 45 to 50. You want that break. Give yourself at least a couple of minutes before those imbalances come out. But really with the market not doing too much, I want to favor the short because we're still going to be trending into the downside. Oh, SKYQ, that's, what do I know that one?
I was in that before.
That was the small capper from this morning. Breaking 5, where did this one come from? Volume picking back up for SkyQ. This was a big time mover this morning. I thought this was moving a lot more with the way the energy was going, but apparently not. So anyways, $5 breaking here for SkyQ. No halts in sight, but volume's not bad. $5 breakout. I already broke the high of the day. Maybe look for a $5 break. Give it to the prior high. That's a really tight stop. It's 496 is the prior high. Effectively, that would be like 5 cents worth of risk. That's kind of too tight. Maybe give it 10 on this one. But there's actual volume coming in here on SkyQ. Size at 5 even and 501. So it's probably going to have to break at least 02s for this one to start going. That's the thing. You never know with these small cappers. A little bit of a late story. Oh, nothing at 3s, nothing at 3s, nothing at 3s. Fill 3, not filling.
Break yourself.
Move to 4, of course. All right, it's gonna put it under the prior bar and see if this one has a chance to go. And then we have a super chat, which I just saw that, Peter. But thank you guys for that SkyQ. Looks like that was a better runner, at least if you got it off of VWAP. About the same thing as BIA, but still more of a better structured trade. So looking for that break to try to hold that prior top in here. But I'm only really giving it to that wick high and then see what it can do. 15 minutes till the imbalances. And Peter Martinez, do you still see downside on NVIDIA? What time frame are we talking about? That's the real question. Like today on NVIDIA? Not
today, I don't think.
Right? Because look what time it is. Like, you got to be thinking about, could it get to the low of the day? Sure, but we're right up into the imbalances, so that's a bit tricky. You must be talking about the higher time frame. It's been holding the 200-period moving average, but they report so late into earnings season that I actually like them more than some of the other AI. As far as the AI play goes, I like NVIDIA more than a lot of things because their valuation has now become very good. So I want to respect 190 and the 200-period moving average more than almost all stocks. Like local support this earnings season, I like for NVIDIA much more than I like it for all of the other AI names, just because this one turned into a bit of a value play. But today, I don't know. I guess it could go to the low of the day if you're still looking for it. Yeah, I don't like what that SkyQ did. We took it, ended up moving up to 4s, but I only wanted to give it back into the high, like back into the prior high. Like either it goes right away because it's 340 or it doesn't go at all. And that's what you got to try to respect. It'll be a relatively tight stop, but at this time of day, I'm not going to give it a ton of room. If it fail breaks, you could be back at VWAP in absolutely no time. Like you don't want to get too trapped in one of those for sure. But tomorrow, the good news for this stock is it's still a very good breakout setup for a day two, right? Like it just broke one level here at 420. So if it can get back and hold above 5, this could be a continuation play tomorrow.
All right, Joe's distributing the pizza over there. SpaceX coming right into 120 flat. So holla, face slap. All right, here we talked about here's proof of the, I don't know where it is. I have another face slapping one there that I just go back and forth on that. Maybe if I go back to page 1, I'll find it.
The one with the 2 shirts?
Yeah, the one. Yeah, no, it's the change. You change.
No, mine's.
You change colors. Oh, here it is.
That's mine. I
have it right here. See, there's the watch. I have the watch.
Oh, it's the watch. I thought it was the shirt.
The watch. The watch I was just talking about, flipping back and forth. Over there.
See, but that half makes sense. It's like it's slapping the watch from one hand to the other.
That makes sense, actually.
At least for yours.
Yeah. Shout out to Rob, whoever
it's
made
not
that.
that bad. Mine's just ridiculous.
Made some sense back there, actually. Yeah, good call on that one.
Mine's like.
All right, we are just getting closer here.
Damn it.
Yeah, I have so much damage. You have no idea. But yeah, 245. Just joking. Well, maybe I do, maybe I don't. I feel actually pretty lucky in my life to have not too much going on right there on the negative side, so pretty blessed for that. Fingers crossed that stays, health is the biggest concern, obviously, for everybody. 245 downside. I'm not averaging in. As we said, we are going to wait on this one. We don't have too many shares left, so President Trump signs executive order. Oh, critical minerals type of place. We can look at MP, maybe right now. Making it harder for defense contractors to obtain waivers here. So Adair will talk about that, I'm sure. There goes MP to the upside right now. So some definite there signing. Wow. Okay. Well, hey, we should have just bought some MP. Wow. Okay, Sean, thanks for breaking the story, my guy. There it goes right there to the upside on MP. I've chased news before. We won't do it here, but there goes MP to the upside. Also, Lithium of America could be in for a ride here as well, but looks like it's MP going upside. What you got, Adara?
There are 3 names that I'm seeing move on this, but only 3. One of them is TRML, the other is USAR, and the last, as we had Sean mention there, MP. All 3 in focus here as we get this headline. President Donald J. Trump securing America's defense supply chains and ensuring domestic acquisition of critical materials. This is, again, a critical metals-related announcement coming from the White House. Furthermore, the White House adding here that this new order requires contractors to exhaust option for domestic products in that critical mineral and component supply chains for weapon systems. So asking them to basically focus on domestic critical minerals and critical metals rather than going outside of that domestic space. Apparently, this executive order further threatens defense contractors with losing contracts if they fail to replace quote-unquote risky foreign suppliers. So potentially watch some defense names here as well. Here's LMT, not doing too much here. RTX could be another one to watch. Defense names not moving on this, but they are implicated in this critical minerals executive order signed by U.S. President Trump. We're going to send it over to Sia.
Thank you, Adara. Let's take a quick look at what's going on with and in the money markets at the moment. You have the USD JPY pair holding steady with a rather slight marginal increase of roughly 0.08% on the day. Pair, as you do know, is hovering near 40-year lows for the yen, supported by wide US-Japan interest rate gap and also lingering energy prices that are adding pressure in the market. That's the case for everyone, everywhere at the moment right now. You have the dollar inching closer, being almost up 0.20% on the day, trading around 100.940 to be precise, after it hit a low of 100.880 on the day, currently sitting, like I said, at 100.942. Also, a global stock index has edged higher today. Chip makers have recovered some of their recent sharp losses, while you know that the oil prices have also been slightly higher, with investors that are cautious about the developments in the Gulf and with the tensions with US and Iran. So with that, equities looking all right as of now, but money markets as well.
Yeah, this is kind of a, thank you very much, Sia, but if you look at MP, could the timing of this is basically perfect for MP Materials, because this is a monster breakdown level. 45 was the place to be to have gotten into this thing after the jump last year. Hey, literally last year, almost exactly 1 year ago. 1 year ago in a week was when you wanted to get into this sucker, and it's held that level ever since. And it was threatening breaking that this week. And if we get this headline, you're going to want to make sure it follows through. Like, my first gut reaction on the news usually is, like, you want to fade it if it can't take out the tops, but it hasn't really put a topping tail candle in just yet. 5 minutes till the imbalances, probably not going to have an imbalance. I wouldn't worry too much about it. But if it shows any kind of a topping tail candle, like maybe just a quick little scalp short on MP materials. Speaking of the imbalances, still nothing burgers. Unless you're into FXI, that's about $1 million, but that's not big enough. I don't know what SPTS is. That's SPTS. I see Amex and I get interested. Oh, that's like a short-term treasury ETF. That's pretty useless. Pfizer, too big of a float for that to matter. FFAI, under 1 million shares for penny stocks, not going to do anything for you. Hey, iTub, we know that small capper, but nobody seems to care about it, 600,000 shares. So yeah, I'll have eyes on this MP. If we get one last little reversion, I'd watch out for some chip names, most logical sense on the imbalances. Like NVIDIA today would make a lot of sense for an imbalance. Intel's going to make a lot of sense. SOX as well. But this MP still showing some signs of strength. If it can lose this 45.5, it could give a nice little reversion trade into VWAP. But we're running out of time.
All right, sorry, not sorry, but more SpaceX talk here. If we break, like, that imbalance is coming out. So I'm actually going to put a bid now, or an offer here, to get out of 20%, half of what we have left on like a break of like 121.25 or so. We'll get out of some there. If that does break, we'll put a bid up to 30s and change. We'll see if that hits. So that's going to be my stop right there out of, oops, I forgot to, see, that's the problem. And you got to cancel your old stops. My old stop was at 123.50 as we talked. So this trade right now, that's $2 in the money, only had 50 cents worth of a risk there. So we'll go 26 right now, 121.35. We'll punch out if it breaks to the upside there on SpaceX heading into these imbalances, which are now 5 minutes away. AMC is just ticking higher there. We may get stopped out of that. Again, we have 20% left. We sort of have done a good job talking about AMC right there. Nothing really on here. Faraday Futures, I mean, that's only 11 cents now, as many of these names. I mean, although it's just surprising that Lucid, LCID, LCID, continues to hold out some of these bids. I mean, this was like a $2 name not too long ago. Give it a week ago, was $2.50 on that report that, hey, maybe Chapter 11, maybe some insider private placement, like insider buying, they're going to hit. So that was never going to be good. To take private was maybe not going to be a good sign. But then they, I guess, refuted that any of that was a possibility. And for some reason, we started that day in and around $5, made a low into 250. And now again, for some reason, we're up about 40% from where we started before that story. So I think Lucid is just a big time short here. So, watch out for that name. Although Rivian, with their new R2 deliveries, I know my household is eagerly waiting to get that invitation and go test drive what an R2 looks like. However, like I told you, man, the full self-drive, my wife very much likes that. So we may still step into a Tesla. But 1720, I know Rivian's working on something. So 1720 into there for Rivian. If you're short, watch out for that as a possible out. But here comes SpaceX. So we still do have a bid, man, 120.15. Let's see if it can get to the downside right here. Lucid and SpaceX on my mind right now, although only short SpaceX into the close. 347, and then we have that AMC, but just waiting for that one to actually get stopped out, as it's flat right now as a trade. But that's it.
2 minutes till imbalances. For those that were asking, if you didn't see the response in the chat, the imbalances just refers to the closing auction for all stocks. The markets publish the data on the early orders that go into it and then give you an imbalance, whether it's buy imbalances, sell imbalances, for the closing auction print. David Zed Siamese, your psychic swing trade, your guru and stock picking goldfish thinks an upcoming move in PSIL, which is a psychedelics ETF, PSIL components, and quantum in the mail next 2 weeks. So remember, big moves in the psychedelic names because Eli Lilly picked up ATAI. So that's Eli. That's the big boys going into psychedelics. That pumped all of those stocks. So I think, PSIL, that makes a lot of sense. A lot of times when you get one deal in a space from a big boy, it's not usually the end of it. You're not. Nobody is trading PSIL. It doesn't do any. It's just literally no liquidity on it. But in terms of a move, the problem with if you're really good and you have like expertise in it, what you do is you would try to determine who is the most like ATAI and who might be the most likely for a bet at an individual name that would get a deal done. But you can't really go wrong going with the overall space in an ETF. It's just usually if you want the most juice after a deal gets done and you're thinking another one will happen in the next quarter, you'd want to try to find a likely name that you could play. That's something that can be pretty popular. But yeah, that Eli Lilly and ATAI, I think it's a fantastic sign because you've got to think about the fact there's a gigantic patent cliff which is coming for a lot of the big names, whether it's Merck, Pfizer, they all got this coming up in the next year and a half. And so they're all looking for additional revenue streams. And if Lilly, who seem to be the smartest of the bunch, if they seem to like psychedelics, I would imagine someone else is gonna like them too. So I'd want to try to hammer down on some individual names for sure. So 30 seconds to go. I'm gonna throw. I basically only have like the names that we're interested in. Like I have MP up on the off chance and Nvidia and the usuals, what you might expect to have imbalances. But nothing is really standing out here going into these imbalances in about 20 seconds or so. MP did pull back, but it broke the high before it pulled back, so that wasn't much of a trade. Could be a good exit strategy. Now, good news on MP. Now, if it loses 45, that stock's probably dead.
Okay, we have less than 10 seconds now until those imbalances. So we are going to have a quick look and see what winds up popping off here very, very soon. 2 and 1. Let's get those imbalances now. It's NVIDIA with a sell. We don't like that one as that's going southbound right there for NVIDIA. Intel also a sell, getting that little move down. Amazon also a sell, gapping there to 49.35. Microsoft, I mean, you're getting the idea here. Everything major is a pretty big sell. Of course, except, of course, IREN, which is an absolute monster today, up 19%, was up 20-something% near those highs. Wow, so there's the big sell, obviously. You check out the Mag 7 is half of the market sell there today. But you could see here, Palantir, man, avoided that one today and should not have. I mean, that was a big one, up 2.5%. And I almost made this one of my picks. I mean, Palantir was a big pick of mine, 2 years ago, and Marvell was last first half of this year, and we didn't put it back in. I was definitely debating that look there on Palantir, but still has a little bit of work to do there on PLTR, and there it goes, AMC. So hits back up, so we punch out of that one. I didn't see it on the imbalance locator, but we had sort of thought there was
super small buy.
Yeah, like we just got some more out at 40 there, back at 332. So yeah, not really much for me, anyways, going on right there for AMC, but we tried it, and just didn't work out there to the downside. I mean, it worked out fine. It's just that last quarter there was downside. But SpaceX, trying to see if we can get into those lows there. I didn't see it on the locator, but
it's super small. Like it just ridiculous. I did put up just out of curiosity, because those are positions that are on the board right now. SpaceX 12,000. And then AMC was here for pretty much a nothing burger. And then there was supposed to be an imbalance on this NSA stock, but it didn't come out the right direction. So that's a big time nothing burger. NVIDIA doesn't care about this imbalance much. It went down 50 cents. It didn't break the low, not doing anything. Intel, I can give you the same sort of story there. Intel's now starting to come in. Bad news, man. I think when I saw someone in the chat already say it, like the NASDAQ might be green today, but when you see all the sell imbalances overall trending down after a lot of things,
NASDAQ might not be green, man.
I'm just saying it's not a good sign that no one wants to seem to hold overnight. No, that's not good at all. Because remember, this is going into Alphabet, Vernova, Intel this week, a few other names, but obviously it's a big week for earnings week, starting in earnest for some of the tech names. And if people are getting a little bit antsy already, I mean, that's not a great sign. Overall. So I'm not going to come in tomorrow thinking overly excitement to the long side. I'd probably still be looking for some shorts. Interesting. ETHA has a bit of a buy imbalance. Yeah, well, 3%. I have something to watch at 355 because one of the things you want to do is look for new things. Crypto. I'm not used to seeing ETHA have an imbalance of 1.5 million. So if that stays at 355 and goes into the close, there might be a quick little scalp trade here. It's not really moving off those imbalances. And again, I've never really looked at IBIT or ETH on an imbalance locator before, so that gives me something to watch here. I was looking for some new ideas, whether it's the AMEX stocks out of nowhere or potentially some crypto movement. Relative strength here, at least IBIT and ETH are having a decent day.
Yeah, that's for sure. We actually did a pretty good trade there on IBIT from the morning time. We wrote it down there, and there it was, so IBIT. But bouncing off VWAP, so as Neil mentioned, that's a pretty good level to look out for there on IBIT. Holding out for VWAP. We'll see what happens tomorrow if there's a play over there for that one. Looks like we're just going to have to piece out a little bit more of SpaceX now. We do have our out if there was a problem, but it didn't break out. So we're actually near the all-time lows again for SpaceX. We have a fill at this level already. So there it is, man. A couple fills at 120.50, a couple shorts at 123. We wrote down earlier today we liked the long at 123, which we tried. That didn't work. Then we flipped over to the short multiple times. So shout out to Easy Peasy and everybody else that does that kind of a trade. And a big shout out to everybody that's here for us again here today. Thank you to Bravely. They're blacklist, you're not blacklisted on this show, that's for sure. Shout out to TikTok for everybody that's there as well today. And here's another one, Muse. So ZYBT. Oh yeah. Anyways, everyone, thank you for us on TikTok. I just wanted to show you that ZYBT. It'll open up after hours, and right now it's $8. So that's going to be a good one there for everybody that's been able to somehow get long every time it opens up and just hold out for that one. So 826. I don't know if that's going to be 100% accurate, but that's what it's tapping for right now. So ZYBT. It's a Dara with crypto. We just covered it a little bit. Let's go get it a little bit more.
Crypto. I'm just quickly going to go over the levels and send it right back as you have a few minutes right now. BTC, as we do know, had hit a 1 month high of 65,600 today, briefly of dollars today. Currently seems to have lost some of it, trading around $65,100 region at the moment. We have BTC, however, up 0.67% at the moment. Ethereum trading around $1,899, very close to $1,900. At the moment, it's currently up 1.5% on the day. And Solana finally inching up towards 2% on the day, trading around $77.5.
Thank you there, Sia. ETH just came out smaller than anticipated, which is a good look to not get in. What you ideally want to see, I mentioned this before, is remember it was 1.6 million to the buy side, now it is 1.2 million. So you don't want that pairing off of 55 if you want to go long. You want that jumping up a little bit, and then you want to try to grab the long and play it into the high of the day. What's CLBK? That's pretty significant. Yeah. Already coming into the downside, so I don't really see anything there overall. So it's really just going to be about, can the market hold on to green? No. At the end of today, the answer is going to be no, seemingly.
Yes.
Well, I don't think it does.
No, that's what I was saying when you said that. I was like, I don't know.
I don't think it does at all. We did have that's right. What happened to our poll? Shoot, Fabian, I got to figure out how to look at the old poll results.
But we didn't change it. It should still be there, no?
It's not.
Oh, it's not.
No, I didn't. It's gone now, but I know that Fabian did build a way that we're able to look at it. It was sitting at 55, just over 50% on our poll about whether you trade, our viewers anyways, whether you're trading full-time or not.
There's SpaceX.
We are going to close green. There's the wick at the bottom.
SpaceX right now is getting clocked to the downside, 120.10. We're short. It's just a $3 now as we go low on SpaceX. We waited for that fill. Looks like we're going to do a good job of getting it here temporarily anyways on SpaceX. There goes 120. And this is that magical level that everyone was waiting for. You got your opportunity right now to buy some SpaceX at $120. But hey, you could have bought it a couple days ago, or I did, at 135. So there's not even big size at 120, by the way. That's 121. Sorry. Oh, yes, there is.
Yeah, there is.
There's a couple million shares there I just saw right there. That's one of the bigger sizes you're going to see on a stock. So wait out for that one to break through. I'm actually a little lower than that right now. That has to be people that own shares selling it. So I don't know if we break through that, but right now SpaceX is getting clobbered down there to the downside, but we've got it, man. And there's that short that we talked about. So pretty happy so far with the trade here on SpaceX into the close. So yeah, let's go, man. 120 and change. We're just short at 123, baby, all afternoon long. But there it goes. It looks like it's going to hold that out. You know what? Why not? We could just take a fill here at 01s. Oh, there we go. We got it. There's so much liquidity, man. All you have to do is bid it, and you get it. So there we go. We bid 01s and get that now for that to secure the bag on $3. We're still holding 10%. Let's see if that does break here at the end of the day. This could very well break in the after hours, as this NASDAQ could pull their bid.
Because they probably won't be there in the after.
Exactly. So they could pull that bid right there on NASDAQ. And how actually big is that? But yeah, it's only okay. So it's only 5 digits. But still, every single one of those is 100 shares. So you could do the math there, 11,000 times 100. You got 1,000,001 sitting on the bid right now on, and that's let alone what else we see. Like you see how it's not breaking 01s right now? So there's lots of sort of iceberg orders, meaning that you're just seeing the tip of it. There's so much underneath these orders.
Is that 1.1 or 11 million?
Well, it's 11,000 times 100.
Oh, my thing's not wide enough.
Yeah, so it's 11,000 shares there times, I don't know, what is that? Is that 11 million? I don't know. Regardless, it's only done 49 million on the day.
No, it's 1.1.
Yeah, my math is pretty good. So right there, we'll watch out for that to try to break. I'm going to take another cover right now. Just
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, there it goes breaking. I mean, look, it's hard to celebrate it because obviously we're shareholders here, but there it goes to the downside, man, and we did it. So that's it. There it is, $3.25 to the downside. I'm bidding 65s. I just took an 80 fill. We'll bid 65s there, but someone just smacked that thing like that. Actually, it pulled because we're at 40 million. Oh no, what did I say? 11 million?
Yeah, it filled.
So that's gone.
It filled. I saw it fill.
Okay, so then it wasn't. Did I say? No, I said it was 1.1.
It was 1.1. It wasn't 11.
Right. No. Yeah. So there it goes, man. SpaceX. Wow, what a great trade there to end the day, man. $3 there. Thank you, VinFast, for everything, including your sponsorship as well. But yeah, wow, that was a crazy opportunity there. I'm glad you guys got to see that live right there. And there it was, man. $3 on SpaceX as it breaks back down below 120. So yeah, man, join me tomorrow. We'll see if we can do something similar.
Exactly. Great one on SpaceX for sure. Shareholders are not happy about this one. My brother asked me again, is it time to buy? I'm like, well, I already did, but I wouldn't if I were you. Because it looks like patience is going to be a virtue for this. And they still have to report.
Every day is a new low.
We get their earnings in 2 weeks. So really, you can just wait for earnings, see a report, and see whether you like what's under the hood. The market doesn't seem to want to do anything with it but sell off over and over again.
By the way,
that Z, I was going to tell you, that
yeah,
ZYB.
Like it opened back up just as we said.
Ham.
It's $10. It just broke $11.
Remember, no halts in the aftermarket.
Yeah, so the stock is gone. So congratulations to anybody that was buying that one. It kept on halting. And then when we got that 850 tap, whatever it was, it looked like it opened up at 801. Boom, right there at 4 o'clock. Once the market is closed, they can open back up. So I would say be careful, man, because often you make that huge move up and then that's it. Like
they might be rugging it right now.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, there's no bids. Like, you got to, if someone decides to sell it, who's going to buy it? So that's really the question. SpaceX, yeah, we could see 110 tomorrow. You know what I'm going to be shorting SpaceX. I can already tell you that on the number one name tomorrow will be SpaceX. So we'll wait for that. ZYBT, definitely looking at that tomorrow as well. 137 million shares today.
Oh, this is going to be monster volume tomorrow. But remember, if you hold it overnight, you never know when these things have the ability to drop an offering. I couldn't tell you, but if they do, I suggest they probably are smart enough to raise as fast as they can and take advantage of 1,000% to the upside, 1,200% to the upside. We got big earnings coming up the rest of the week here. The market did end up very barely into the green. I want to thank Adam. Thank you for the pizzas on Tilapia Monday. Thank you for sending us those pizzas. Thank you for all the super chats, everybody, from the entire team. See who's gone. But there is right there. From Joey Options, Sharif, Fabian, Andre, Christina, Ramin back over there. C1, thank you for the update as well. My man Sean over here.
I have no idea who Christina is, but thank you, Christina.
Oh, that's my other coach. I was just talking to, oh my goodness.
Thank you, Tiffany.
I know, Tiffany, my bad.
There we go. She